Hello.
Hello? Yes, yes.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Uh, Sorry, sir. It
Uh,
is I have a doubt regarding a polity. I was reading
see,
NCERT yesterday.
okay, see, now
Okay,
we have to start the class. Okay, so
okay,
that
sir.
itself I said you have to ask relevant question. Okay, if you have general question or general doubts, means you can ask at the end of the class. All the
Okay, sir.
so you just raise this question after the end of the class. I will
Okay,
answer.
sir.
Due to polity. Okay.
So the others, the Monday session of economic class, the video is not sent yet.
No, no, I don't have any idea regarding that. You
Okay,
have
sir.
a coordinator. Okay.
Okay, sir.
See,
Okay,
my
sir.
part is I have to discuss bilateral related issues.
Okay, sir.
Any general doubts means that also I can answer that too at the end of the class. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Okay,
sir.
okay, okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
See, students. Today I am going to take questions only at the end of the class. You can use the chat box if you have any problem regarding audio video. Okay. So people are raising question from the starting. Okay. Okay, I will answer these two questions. Lakshmi Raja, what is your question? Lakshmi Raja? Okay. No audio. So I think you can hear now. Is it audible, students? Audio is not clear. So now I think it should be okay. People are telling yes. Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay. So okay. Thank you. Uh, Please also tell me whether the video is also is visible. That means the PPT is visible. See, why people are scribbling? 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, so is it visible? Is the video visible? Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, we'll start the class then. Okay, so that day we are discussing Syria. Okay, so Syria is a very important country located in a very prime position, so that we know. So Syria is located in a very prime position because there was a change in government in Iraq. Now in Iraq, a Shia Muslim ruler is ruling the country. Iran can now access maintenance. So because of that, Saudi Arabia got irritated and Saudi Arabia wanted to change the regime, Shia regime in Iraq, and again reinstall Sunni Muslim regime in Iraq. But that is not possible because Iraqi government was getting the support from US. And also Iraqi, the present government is getting the support from Iran also. So that's why now Saudi Arabia is instigating, it started instigating problem in Syria. And Saudi Arabia also began to support all the Sunni resistant movements in Iraq. So this we have discussed in the last class. Okay. And then in Iran, in Syria, you see there are 4 parties are there who are fighting with each other. One is the ruling government, ruling Bashar al-Assad government. Okay. And 1 minute. Ruling Bashar al-Assad government, and this is the rebel army, rebels. This is the rebel army. Okay, so ruling government and the rebel army, the Sunni Muslim army, they are fighting with each other. Bashar al-Assad belongs to the Shia. His group is called Alawite. He belongs to Shia. Okay, so Bashar al-Assad is getting the support from Russia, Iran, and Hezbollah. Like that, the opposition party, the Free Syrian Army, is getting the support from US, Saudi, and Qatar. Why Saudi and Qatar are supporting the rebels? Because they are Sunni Muslims. That's why they want to change in regime. Like that, the third group is the terrorist group, in which the leading terrorist group is ISIS, followed by other terrorist groups also there. Okay, so the terrorist groups also wanted to overthrow the Shia ruler and establish the Sunni rule under ISIS. Okay, and the Sunni rebels and terrorist groups also, they also doesn't like each other. That also you should know. So government is fighting against the opposition people, and the oppositions are fighting against terrorists, and terrorist people are also fighting against the government. Okay, so although for the terrorist people and the Free Syrian Army, they wanted to overthrow this guy, but they can't cooperate with each other because they are enemies. How can you go and ally with the terrorist organization? So this is the mechanism. Okay, and then the third party is the US. US is supported by Turkey. Why Turkey is with US is supporting the rebel groups? Okay, why Turkey is supporting the rebel groups along with US? Because Turkey is a Sunni Muslim country, and Bashar al-Assad is a Shia. So that's why they doesn't like each other. Turkey want change in regime in Syria. And France, Britain, they are always with the US. And Saudi, Qatar, they are also with the US, supporting the Sunni Muslim. And the US and its allies, they are also fighting against terrorist groups. And adding more fuel to this, the terrorist groups also, they are fighting with each other. There is an infighting among each other. So that you have to. And apart from this, two more groups are there. One group is PKK, another one is YPG. Just note that these two groups are Kurdish-based groups. So regarding Kurdish people, we will discuss a little later. Okay. So these are all the four parties. If you are leaving away the Kurdish population, these are all the four parties involving in war in in Syria, and who are all allies, who are all friends. This is the idea. Okay. So this is how you have to learn. See, whenever you are reading any issue, if any problem is going on, means what is the problem? Who are all the parties? And what is the relationship among these parties? Who is supporting whom? Like that, you have to read it. Okay. Then we'll move to the next one. Okay. So this also last class we discussed. Okay. This also last class we discussed. The point is here, who is supporting whom? In which way they are supporting. So those things are mentioned here. That's all. Okay. Very simple. So first to take this Syrian government. Syrian government is getting the support from Russia, Iraq, and Iran. Russia is supporting in terms of military and diplomatic channels. Iraq is supporting in terms of diplomatic channels. Iran is supporting both in military and also in diplomatic. The Free Syrian Army, the Syrian opposition forces, they are getting support from US, Turkey, and the Gulf states, Saudi and the Gulf states. Okay, US is supporting in terms of military, diplomacy, finance. Gulf states, finance. Turkey, military and finance. This is the two ISIS groups, ISIS and the terrorist organization. Gulf countries and Turkey, they are supporting both in terms of finance, logistics. For the ISIS, military, logistics, finance, logistics. And this is the Kurdish population. Just note this. Regarding Kurdish, all the parties are supporting Kurdish population. Why means it is a confusion. Please wait for something. Okay. One is US. US is supporting no audio. Is audio okay? Somebody is typing no audio is there. Yes, sir, means no audio is there. Clear. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. So Kurdish population, just to note this Kurdish population. For Kurdish population, US is supporting military, in terms of military, in terms of finance, in terms of logistics. Russia in terms of diplomacy, diplomatic level. Okay, Iran is also supporting in terms of military. Everybody, these parties doesn't like each other. Russia, Iran on one side, US on the other side. But regarding Kurdish, everybody are together. Just to note this. Okay, and then this is another diagram, another same idea, another diagram. US, Russia. What US wants? US wants Bashar al-Assad to be removed. And US is supporting the rebel groups. Russia wants Syrian government to be to sustain, and Russia is fighting against Islamic State. Right? Russia is also fighting against rebel groups. Syrian government is fighting against rebel groups. Syrian government is fighting against Islamic State also. So this is the position. Okay, so US camp, Russian camp, Syrian camp. US is supporting the rebels. indirectly fighting against Syria. Why US is indirectly fighting against? Why can't it directly go and fight against Syria? Russia will not allow. Russia will not allow. That you have. Okay, Russia will not allow. Okay, so these things yesterday we have discussed. US camp, Russia camp, and Syrian camp. US want the Syrian government to be overthrown, and the US friendly government have to be installed. Rebel groups, you have to note that rebel groups, US is supporting the rebel groups, the opposition parties, but Russia is fighting against them. So everybody are fighting against Islamic State. Rebel groups are also fighting against Islamic State. So this is the Syrian episode. Okay, yesterday we discussed this. Okay, so now we'll start the today's class. So far we were discussing what we were discussing yesterday. So this Venn diagram is very, very important. See, to understand what is going on in West Asia, understanding this Venn diagram is very, very important. So already we have discussed enough. So I think each and everything mentioned in this Venn diagram, you should be able to understand. Okay. So if you can be able to understand everything in this Venn diagram, means the class is going good. That's the understanding. Okay. So this diagram shows three powers: Russia, US, and Iran. So what are the common interest of these three powers, two powers, and what is the individual interest of these three powers? So these things are mentioned in this particular Venn diagram. Okay. So first let us take US. Okay. So first listen, and then you can copy this. You can take a screenshot. It is up to you. Okay. I will give you time. Okay. So first what we will do is you just listen what I am, that means what I am telling. Okay. First US. What is US individual interest? Removing Bashar al-Assad from power. Why US wanted to remove Bashar al-Assad from power? Because then only Russia will lose the naval base. And then US individual interest is supporting the rebel groups. See, US is having a distinction. I mean, how it deals with terrorist groups means I will tell you. There are two types of terrorist groups are there according to US. Two types of terrorist groups. Audio is not clear. Audio is not clear. Is audio clear? Okay, I will go a little slower. No problem. Okay, it's clear. Okay. Okay. What US wants is US want to remove Bashar al-Assad from power. Why US want Bashar al-Assad to be removed? Bashar al-Assad is giving the Russia a naval base in Syria, somewhere here. So this is Syria. See this map behind this Venn diagram. This is Syria. Here, Russia is having a naval base. Okay. So if there is a change in regime in Syria, means then obviously what will happen? Russia will lose the naval base in Mediterranean Sea. So Russia have no other place to go in Mediterranean Sea. So Russia will be easily contained. So this is US idea. And US is supporting the US approved rebel groups. See, again I am telling you, US is having a distinction with respect to terrorist organization. It is called good terrorist people, bad terrorist people. See, terrorist, what is good and bad? US is having like that. Why means I am telling means who are all the terrorist people, the militant groups who are listening to US, they are all good terrorist people, good rebel people. Who are all the terrorist people who are taking arms and they are not listening to US, they are all bad people. So this is US idea. So US is supporting the US approved rebel groups. That you have. So these are all the two individual interest of US. Okay. And then coming to Russia. In Russia, you see what Russia wants. Number one, restoring Russian prestige. Restoring Russian prestige. Restoring Russian prestige. That means what is the meaning of this restoring Russian prestige? See, USSR was a mighty power and it was giving counter to US before 1990, before the disintegration of Soviet Union. And Soviet Union finally in 1990 collapsed. And after Soviet Union, Russia took over, that means succeeded Soviet Union. So Russia, it took nearly 10 to 20 years to again come back to. See, you can ask all the questions at the end of the class. So no, in chat, don't ask any questions. Okay. Should you remember all the geopolitical history? You have to remember, yes. Yes, you have to know everything. Okay, you have to remember everything. What all we are discussing today, all are very, very important. Okay. So don't ask questions. At the end of the class, I will give you enough time for you to ask questions. Okay. If only there is a audio, video, any issues there, you just give a message in the chat. Okay. From my side, any problem is I will rectify. Okay. Again, people are asking questions. Voice is missing. Is it audible? Students, is it audible? So for other people, it is audible. Okay. So you check on your side also. Okay. So don't think that only, see my side, everything is perfect today. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So if you have any problem, you just reconnect. Okay. Thank you. So Russia has lost its charisma, its power status in 1990 when Soviet Union disintegrated. After that, when new Russia took over power, now again Russia wanted to become like Soviet Union. It wanted to show to the world that Russia has again bounced back. So this is Russia's individual interest and to advancing Russian influence in Middle East. So this is Middle East. Why Russia wanted to influence Middle East? Because in Middle East, lot of oil and gas is there. But note that Russia doesn't need this oil and gas because Russia is the largest exporter of gas and second largest in terms of petrol, oil. Okay, but Russia doesn't need this oil and gas from Middle East. But Russia wanted to ensure that this oil and gas will not go into the hands of US or its enemies. Okay, so that you have to know. Okay, so that's why Russia wanted to influence the Middle East countries. So Middle East oil should not go to whom? Should not go to Western countries. Voice is breaking. Is my voice breaking? Somebody is telling, sir, your voice is breaking. No, sir. Yes, sir. See, maybe the internet connectivity from your side may be a problem. Okay, I have good internet connection. Voice is clear. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is Russia's individual interest. And then coming to Iran, what is Iran's individual interest? Advancing Iranian influence in the Middle East. What is Iranian influence? The Shia power. So Iran wanted to become the leader. Iran wanted to oppose Saudi Arabia. Although Iran is a minority, Iran wanted to do everything. Okay, it wanted to influence all the countries. Okay, so the Shia, to increase the Shia power, that is idea number one of Iran, and opposing Israel. Iran and Israel are arch enemies. We will discuss while we discuss Israel. And Iran wanted to challenge Saudi Arabia, challenge the Sunni power, because the Sunni powers they are challenging the Shia power, that is Iran. So Iran wanted to challenge the Saudi Arabia and Iran is also supporting Hezbollah. Who is Hezbollah? Hezbollah is a terrorist organization according to other countries, which is getting the support from Iran. Hezbollah is supporting the Syrian government. Hezbollah is active in Syria, Lebanon, and also in Israel Palestine. Hezbollah is going against Israel. That's why Israel and Iran doesn't like each other. Iran is supporting Hezbollah. Hezbollah is going against Israel. That's why these countries doesn't like each other. Okay, and then coming to what is common to both US and Russia. US, Russia, they are enemies. That means enemies means they won't fight together, each other directly, but always they have a cold war. But with respect to maintaining relationship with Israel, both Russia and US are having very good relationship with Israel. They have no problem. And coming to what is common between Russia and Iran, they are allies. So both are supporting Assad regime. Why Iran is supporting Assad regime? Because of the Shia. Why Russia is supporting Assad regime? Because Russia needs Syria's port, naval port in maintenance, and Russia is selling all its arms to Syria. Okay, second largest depot, and both are challenging US policy. Russia also doesn't like US. Iran also doesn't like US. So in these two things, Iran and Russia, they are together. And finally, you see what is common to Iran and US. Iran and US doesn't like each other. But today means up to what we have discussed, we have to note that both the countries were supporting Iraqi military. Why US is supporting Iraqi military? Because US only installed the new government. Why Iran is supporting Iraqi military? Because both are Shia, very simple. Okay, so these are all the common interest, individual interest and common interest among the three countries. And what is common to all the three parties? Defeating ISIS. Defeating ISIS. So this is the common interest. Okay. So you can ask all the question at the end of the class. Okay. So why Russia wanted to increase its influence in Middle East means Middle East oil is there. Russia doesn't need this oil, but Russia wanted to ensure that its enemy should not get that oil. See, there are two ways in getting profit. One, you have to win over enemy, or other. See, that means you should not lose to your enemy, or otherwise the enemy should not win. Like that, also one strategy is there. No? So you can understand. Okay. So Russia doesn't need Middle East oil. Yes, that I accept. But you have to note that Russia's enemies should not get the Middle East oil. That's why Russia wanted to influence that particular. So the common objective of all the parties is defeating ISIS. So I will come to the discussion why everybody doesn't like ISIS. Then why can't we just eliminate ISIS? That question I will discuss. So just you can note it down in the note in your notebook. Okay, this Venn diagram. Okay, I will give you time. I will give you 2 minutes just to write everything. Okay, so this Venn diagram is important. See, the point is I want to discuss this Venn diagram. That's why we are discussing 2-3 classes. So this is the present scenario. What people want, what people doesn't want. What is the common interest? What is the opposite interest? So this is the question. See, I'm showing only the interest of 3 countries. Okay. So quickly you write it. Write this all the equations. Draw the Venn diagram and then note down all these points. So this is very, very important. See, Venn diagram means only you should take only 2 parties, maximum 3 parties. If I am including one more participant, do you think that the diagram will be visible? Okay, so Venn diagram means it is only for 2, showing the relationship between 2 entities only. We have to use Venn diagram. 3 entities also we can do it. Now I have used 3 entities. So if you want 4, 5, 6, 7 means it won't look like a Venn diagram. Okay. So what I'm see, let me finish. Okay, see what I am asking you is I will give you some questions. Okay, like this. You draw a diagram for, note it down. India, US, and Russia regarding West Asia. So don't bring other ideas here regarding West Asia. So regarding these kind of issues, I'm telling in a Venn diagram, try to mark the individual interest and common interest of 3 countries. One is India, US, Russia. This is 1. India, US, Russia regarding West Asia. So this is number 1. And then 2, India, Iran, Saudi. So you can ask all the question at the end. Okay, so don't interrupt. Okay, so I'm not going to take any questions. Okay, see, I'm just checking whether the audio video is correct. That's all. Okay, again I will summarize everything. Don't worry. So first you note it down. You try for India, US, Russia. 1, 2, India, Iran, Saudi. That is 2. And then 3, India, Israel, and Islamic countries. So this combination you just try. Okay. So if you can mark everything as a segments, it will be easy for you. You can write any answer. You are ready for examination regarding West Asia. Okay. So this Venn diagram I have shown for Russia, US, Iran. Like that, you go for India, US, Russia. 1, 2, India, Iran, Saudi. That is 2. Then 3, India, Israel, Islamic countries. Like that, you go for the 3 combination. Just try it at home after the class. Okay. So again, I will summarize. So I have given 3 parties. What is the individual interest and common interest of all these 3 parties? What US want? US want Bashar al-Assad to be removed from power. Bashar al-Assad should be removed. Why means because he only is giving the naval base to Russia. So if Bashar al-Assad is overthrown, means Russia will lose the naval base, and US is supporting the rebel groups. And then what Russia want? Russia again wanted to become a superpower, and then to Russia doesn't want the Middle East oil to go under the influence of USA or any other country. So Russia wanted its influence to be spread in the Middle East. And then three, what is Iran's interest? Iran wanted to advance its influence. That means it wanted to increase its Shia power. It wanted to oppose Israel. It wanted to challenge Saudi, and it is supporting Hezbollah. So these are all the three individual interests of all the three countries. And what is common interest of both Russia and US? Having relationship with Israel, that it is not at all a problem. Russia, Israel, Israel-US relation is good. What is common between Russia and Iran? Both are supporting Bashar al-Assad. Both doesn't like US. In this, they are together. What is common to both US and Iran? Supporting the Iraqi government and Iraqi military. Iran is supporting Iraq because both are Shia. US is supporting Iraq because US only installed Iraqi. So far we have discussed these things. Now the next question is, see, everybody have a common enemy, that is this ISIS. Then why it is not possible to eliminate ISIS? So this is a general question. Generally, you have to, this question will arise. Okay, everybody have a common enemy. Do you think that ISIS is stronger than US and Russia together? See, Russia, US are the top two countries in the world. In that circumstances, two of them have a common enemy. Means then ISIS can be easily eliminated, no? But ISIS is surviving. But ISIS now have been reduced, but not completely eliminated. How come this ISIS survive? Means because of this. This is the anti-ISIS coalition. Because the enemies of ISIS are enemies to each other. Okay, they doesn't like each other. So that means what they are doing is they are using ISIS against their enemy. One example I will tell you. If ISIS is going and striking the Syrian government, Bashar al-Assad government, means the rebel army and Saudi Arabia will support ISIS. At the same time, when the same ISIS is going and striking the rebel army, means the Syrian government, Bashar al-Assad government will help or will not intervene in that. So like that, everybody are using ISIS to eliminate their enemy. So that's why ISIS is survived. You can understand. So this is the understanding. So far we have I think we have discussed about Syria. What is going on in Syria? What is going on in Iran and Iraq? And what is the Saudi Arabia's interest in this? Okay. So we'll move to the next topic. So next topic is the Kurdistan. Okay. See, this is a classic example. This Kurdistan is a classic example of how this mischievous, the colonial powers, the French and British people, divided a particular country and put them in different countries. And you want to take notes. See, I'm going slow only. Okay, anyway, so don't worry, again, we'll be revisiting everything in the class. Okay, so by the time I will try to give you the transcript of everything with the maps. Okay, so just to understand, so that is enough. Okay, just people in the institute, they requested me that student wanted to read newspaper. In newspaper, see, until the complete, I mean the entire class starts. Okay, so for that purpose only these things are there. Okay, so but anyway, I will go slow. So Kurdistan, so Kurdish. So this the area which is shown here. This is where the Kurdish population live. Okay, so this is the classic example of how one particular group of people, they were. See, Kurdistan it's not Kurdistan. Okay, this is the Kurdish territory, the area where Kurdish people are living. Now the Kurdish people, they are demanding a separate country called Kurdistan. Kurdistan is not a country so far. Okay, so it want land from 4 countries, and it wanted to combine all the Kurdish living territory and wanted to create a separate country called Kurdistan. So, but the Kurdish people are living in 4 countries: Iraq, Iran, Turkey, and also in Syria. In all the 4 countries, Kurdish people are living. So, do you think that it is possible to have a separate Kurdistan? 100% is not possible. The Kashmiri separatist group wanted to create a separate country called Azad Kashmir or Free Kashmir, whatever it is. Do you think that India will allow it? In northeastern states, some groups are asking for a separate. They wanted to separate the territory from India and wanted to create a separate country. Do you think that India will allow? So leave that. Within India, the Nagaland people, they wanted to create a separate territory, that separate state within India only. They doesn't want a separate country. They want a separate state for the Naga people called Nagalim. But the territory of Nagalim, they are claiming from 4 states: Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram. 4 states are not allowing it because they are losing the territory. No? So now the Kurdish people want, you have to note that the Kurdish people, see, if somebody having network problem, that is your issue. Okay. So from my side, any problem is there means that I can address. If you don't have proper network means what I can do? Srinivasan. Okay. So I can see if there is any problem from my side means I can solve things. Okay. From your side means you better have a better connection. So that is the only way. Or otherwise you ask for the video from the institute. That is the only way. Okay. So because if you don't have proper network means what can I do? What is it? Okay. Okay. So that is up to you and the institute. Okay. So you have to ask them whether they are sharing it or not. That is up to them. So just but network you see you have to suppose see in my home also network issue is there. So I am in one particular place where good network is there. Like that you change your location. That is the only way. Okay. So from my side, any issue is there means then I can do something. From your side, what I can't do anything. Okay. So you have to rectify it. Okay. So anyway, so this is Kurdistan. So the people from that means the Kurdish people are living in 4 countries. The British and French people put these people in 4 countries and contain them. Now they want a single country. So now it is a big problem. Okay, so definitely these Kurdish people, they are living as minorities in all the 4 countries. Classic example of how one group of people were cut like a piece of cake and put in different countries. That you have. So regarding the demand of Kurdistan, what is the problem? See, the Kurdish people, if you bring this Kurdish issue in Syria, Iraq, Iran, Turkey, this issue means it will become complex. Okay. So what you do is now I will give you like a statement, you can write it. Okay, first you write statement number 1. You write it statement number 1. Statement number 1. Kurdish people demand separate Kurdistan from 4 countries. Kurdish people demand separate Kurdistan from 4 different countries. Iran, Iraq, Syria and Iraq, Turkey. These 4 countries. Okay. So they want territory from Turkey, that is this territory. They want this Syrian territory. They want this Iraqi territory, this Iran territory. So if they can combine all these 4 territories, then Kurdistan will be formed. So the point is nobody will be ready to give their land. Okay, for Kurdistan. Okay. So this is statement number 1. And then statement number 2. The Turkish government, the present Turkish government is fighting against the Turkish Kurdish people. The Kurdish people who are living in Turkey territory, that is called Turkish Kurdish people. Turkey government is fighting against Turkish Kurdish people. Why these people doesn't like each other? They doesn't like each other. Why? Because according to Turkey government, the Turkish Kurdish people is a separatist people. So statement number 2 is Turkish government fighting against Turkish Kurdish people. Turkish Kurdish people. So this is equation number 2, statement number 2. And then statement number 3. Syrian government doesn't like Syrian Kurdish people. The Kurdish people who are living in Syria. So Syrian government and Syria doesn't like each other. Because according to Syrian government, the people living in both this territory where Kurdish people are there, they are all separatist people. They are all separatist people. Okay. So again I am telling statement number 1, Kurdish people demand separate Kurdistan from 4 countries. Statement number 2, Turkish government fighting against Turkish Kurdish people. The Kurdish people who are living in Turkey territory and the Turkish government, they doesn't like each other. Like that, the Kurdish people who are living in Syrian territory, they are called Syrian Kurdish people. They doesn't like Syrian government. Why? Syrian government terms this people as separatist people. So Turkey government doesn't like the Turkish Kurdish people. Syrian government doesn't like Syrian Kurdish people. So this is the third statement. And fourth statement, you see, Turkey and Syria doesn't like each other. Turkey and Syria doesn't like each other. Okay, Turkey and Syria doesn't like each other. Why? Because Turkey is a Sunni Muslim country. Syria is, although majority people are Sunni Muslims, but Syria is under the control of whom? And that means Shia leader. That's the reason. So Turkey wanted to overthrow Bashar al-Assad government. So this is the understanding. So the fourth statement is Turkey and Syria doesn't like each other. Turkey and Syria doesn't like each other. So now coming to the most confusion part. The next statement you write, the Turkish government will support the Syrian Kurdish people. Syrian Kurdish. So Turkish government will support the Syrian Kurdish people against Syrian government. Because the Syrian Kurdish people, they are fighting against Syrian government. No? Turkey is also fighting against Syrian government. So enemies become friends. So Turkish government supports Syrian Kurdish people against Syria. Against Syria. Okay, so this is the next statement. Okay, so can you understand this? The Turkish government support the Syrian Kurdish people against Syria. Okay, and note that like this, the Syrian government, so this is Turkish Kurdish people, no? Relation between Turkey and Turkish Kurdish people is not good. So Syrian government will support Turkish Kurdish people against Syria, against Turkey. The Syrian government will support Turkish Kurdish people against Turkey. Can you understand? So the point again I will repeat. Kurdish people want a separate Kurdistan. Land from 4 countries. That you have to know. Land from 4 countries. Kurdish people want separate Kurdistan. That is statement number 1. Statement number 2. Turkey and Turkish Kurdish people doesn't like each other. Because according to Turkey government, these Turkish Kurdish people are separatist people. So within the country, the Turkish Kurdish people and Turkey government, they are fighting with each other. Similarly, within Syria, the Syrian government and Syrian Kurdish people, the Syria and the Syrian Kurdish people, they will fight with each other. Because according to Syrian government, these 2 people are separatist people. Okay, and then the next statement was Turkey was fighting against Syria. These 2 countries doesn't like each other. So as a result of this, what happens is Turkey is supporting Syrian Kurdish people against Syria, and Syria is supporting Turkish Kurdish people against Turkey. Okay, so this is the confused part. Power governments, what I can do? Okay, again I will repeat. Don't worry. Okay, so again I will repeat. See, if it is from my side means I can do something. Otherwise, I can't do anything. So I will repeat again. This is what I can do maximum. Okay. So again I will repeat all the statement. Okay. So because if you bring Kurdish into the discussion with Iran, Iraq, Iran, Syria, Turkey, means confusion will be there. Why? Means because already I said everybody are fighting with everyone. So Kurdish people, number 1, statement number 1. Statement number 1. Again I'm telling you. I'm summarizing. Statement number 1. Kurdish people want separate Kurdistan. That is statement number 1. Okay, statement number 2. Turkish Kurdish people, and this is Turkey Kurdish people. Turkey Kurdish people and Turkey doesn't like each other. Like that, from these 2 territory, you have Syrian Kurdish people. So Syrian Kurdish people and Syria doesn't like each other. This is the third statement. And the next statement is Turkey and Syria doesn't like each other. So what they are doing is Turkey will support Syrian Kurdish people against Syria. And like that, Syria will support Turkish Kurdish people against Turkey. So this is the equation. That means in one line you wanted me to summarize what is going on here. Means I will tell you, everybody, all the parties here in this territory, they are supporting Kurdish population. They support Kurdistan, but they don't want their territory to be a part of Kurdistan. Turkey support Kurdistan, yes. Can you understand? Turkey supports Kurdistan, but Turkey doesn't want. You have to know that Turkey doesn't want its territory as a part of Kurdistan. Like that, Syria support Kurdistan, but it is not ready to give this to territory. So that means they support Kurdish population, but they are fighting against their own Kurdish population. Can you understand? So this is the equation in Syria. So this is the equation in Syria. I mean, regarding Kurdistan, Iraq, Iran, there is no big problem because this is the most biggest problem. So this is also a problem, but this is the biggest problem. So now big issue is going on in this territory. No country will every country, although they support Kurdistan, they will not. Iraq will not be ready to sacrifice this territory. Iran will not be ready to sacrifice this territory. Syria will not be ready to sacrifice this two territory, and Turkey will not allow this territory to go to become a separate country. So this is what happened. Can I understand? Okay. So see, I am explaining this after researching all these things for days. Okay, you can't find this in any material. No material is available. No channel you can find this. Okay. So, and you have to note that what I am telling is also a part of that only. That means the bird's eye view, general view only. Okay. So there are a lot of other parties are there. Small parties are there within this particular territory, and note that they are also fighting against each other. Okay, they are also fighting against each other. Okay. So the point is, you have to note that you can't understand this unless you understand the class. Okay, so this is the problem why I did not. This is why I did not start the Kurdish population. See, small portion in Armenia, that and all I accept. Okay, so this is, see, I am discussing the major issue. Okay, small problem is that Turkey, Armenia doesn't like it. That's a big history. No need to get into that. In Armenia also small group of people will be there. Maybe in some other country also some small group of Kurdish population may be there. See, I am discussing the major issue. So beyond this, no need to research. See, I found that last 1 week I am telling, not only from this batch, from other batches, the people are asking a lot of questions. Sometimes the question is going beyond our capacity. Like that, why are you researching like that? If you want to know everything top to bottom, means it will take 2 years for you to understand this. You have to study Syrian history, Iraq history, Iran history, Turkey history, means it will take you 2 years, which is beyond our scope. Okay. So what is necessary for UPSC only we are handling here. Okay. I am not making you the master of international relations. Just I am making you to get ready for the examination. For examination purpose, I think what we have discussed is no more. Turkey is a Sunni Muslim power. Turkey is a Sunni Muslim power. That you have to know. Okay. So in prelims, Armenia is an option. They will not ask like that. Okay. See. So there are, for example, for one particular problem, what are the most important reason for the problem? That only is under discussion. A minor issue is there, cause is there, that and all. You should just know that's all. Okay. So just leave it. So just stick to the class alone. Okay. No need to dig deeper beyond this. Okay. This is beyond our capacity. It is beyond our capacity. See, if you don't know, just see. What if Armenia is asked in the option? What if America is asked in the option? In France also Kurdish people are there. In England also some Kurdish family are living. So where Kurdish people are living means if they are asking means why if you are not marking England means question may go wrong. So what is this question? I can't understand. Okay. See, we are discussing the major issue. We are not getting deep into these issues. So what is happening in this territory? Just we are knowing. Yeah, that means a bird's eye view only we are doing it. So for our UPSC in Indian point of view, this is enough because India is not directly interested in giving a separate country for Kurdistan or not giving. We are not a party to this. So this is not our concern. But all the people are our friends only. They are having some kind of issues. Okay. So for that only we have to just know what is happening there. Okay. Don't dig deep. Don't dig deep. Okay. So you can ask all the questions. I already said you can ask all the questions at the last. Any doubt, I am ready to clear at the last of the class. Okay. Okay. I will give you enough time. Okay. Let me continue the class. Because in online only this problem all the staffs are getting, all the people are telling like this only. Okay, it's very difficult to take online class. So in the regular class it is easy to handle. Okay, so people keeping on asking question means then how we can proceed with the class. So what I'm asking means if you have any doubt, so just note down the slide in this particular slide, this problem just to note down in a paper, keep it for the last. Okay, last half an hour I will allow you for question and answer. You can ask question, I will answer. Okay. So, but if you are asking questions, means I keep on see if some message is coming in the chat, means I have to open that to check whether you people can able to listen or not. Okay. So just to note down the questions, note down your doubts. You can put all the questions at the end of the class. I will answer. Okay. So if audio video problem is there, immediately you raise the question. Otherwise, just note down the question and put all the question at the last. Okay. So that because other people are waiting, no, in the online. Okay. So you are asking some question, you are blocking. Okay. So if it is directly means you can ask immediate question. No big problem will be there. Okay. So this is Kurdistan. So now I am going to show one more diagram. This diagram, don't draw it. You should not draw a diagram like this. Okay, but anyway, why I am showing this, because all the parties are there in this particular diagram. So this is Russia. See, quickly, everything already we have discussed, same thing only. I have brought Turkey and Kurdish in the diagram, that's all. But when we bring all the parties here in a diagram, the diagram becomes complex. It is difficult to understand unless someone explains. So don't draw diagrams like this. If you wanted to show what is the entire scenario like that, some question is there, means you take Kurdish Turkey out of the discussion. So just to discuss Russian side, US side, Syrian side, like that you discuss. And Kurdish population, Kurdish separately you can answer like that. So this is Russia and its satellite countries. Red means fighting, green means supporting. Russia, Iran, Hezbollah, Iran. So these are all the other Shia people who support. This is Russian camp. Like that US camp, Saudi, Qatar, France, Britain, and some other countries. So Russia is fighting against rebels. And Russia is also fighting against Islamic State. And Russia is giving the full support to Syrian regime. So this is on the part of Russia. On the part of US, you see, US and Islamic State, they are fighting against each other. Okay, and US is supporting the rebels. Against Syria, US is supporting Turkey, but now Turkey and US have some problem. Leave it. But anyway, in Syrian crisis, US and Turkey are together. Then coming to the Kurdish population. Kurdish people are fighting against Turkey, Kurdish Turkey government. And then Kurdish population are fighting against rebels. Kurdish population are fighting against Syrian government. Kurdish population also fighting against Islamic State. And Kurdish population are getting the support from US. Okay. And rebels are fighting against Russia, fighting against Iran, fighting against Syria, fighting against Kurdish. So this also should be there. Rebels are also fighting against Islamic State. But rebels are getting the support from Turkey to some extent, from US and its ally to some extent. And coming to Syrian regimes, they are getting support from Russia, fighting against rebels, fighting against Kurdish, fighting against Islamic State, and they are also fighting against Turkey. Okay. And coming to Islamic State, it is easy to define. They are fighting against everyone. Okay. And Turkey and Russia now a rapprochement. Rapprochement means now they are trying to develop relationship. Earlier they did not have very good relation, but now they are developing relation. Because Turkey and Russia, they are developing relation. The relation between Turkey and USA is going down. So this is the entire picture regarding Syria, Turkey, Iran, Iraq, Saudi area. Okay, so Iran we have to discuss. So regarding Syrian crisis, this is the understanding. So I think now you have at least a fair understanding about what is going on in the entire the Middle East, the region what we are discussing. Okay. So we will move to the next. Okay. Whether there is a separate discussion for Turkey. What is there in Turkey? Turkey have its own problem. Point is, Turkey and US doesn't like each other now. Turkey is going towards Russia. Moving. So earlier Turkey and US were together. So so now it is cutting off the relationship with US and it is moving towards Russia. And Turkey is supporting the rebel groups against Syrian regime. Turkey is also supporting the Kurdish people against the Syrian regime. That's all. This is about Turkey. Okay. See, totally 193 countries are there. We are not going to discuss all the 193 countries. Wherever India is having interest, we are directly discussing. And Turkey is a big headache for India. Why? Means because Turkey is a supporter of Pakistan. So this is the one more interesting thing you should know about Turkey. Okay. Otherwise, we don't have any problem with Turkey. We don't have any direct with Turkey. Everyone support Kurdish population. US support Kurdish, Russia support Kurdish, Iran support Kurdish, even Turkey support Kurdish, but they won't support their own Kurdish people only. That is the only understanding. Everybody are ready to give a separate Kurdistan, but they are not ready to sacrifice their Turkey. Okay, so they support the Kurdish people outside their country, but they won't support their own Kurdish people. So this is the understanding. Okay, so you keep all the question at the end. Okay. You can keep, already I have said, note down the questions and ask these questions at the end of the class. Okay. So now I am moving to the next, because the class is not moving forward. So I have to complete this entire West Asia in 2 classes. This is the 4th class. And I am sure that today also I am not going to complete it. Okay, just wait. Okay, so we will move to the next topic. Okay. Next is Iran. 1 minute. So next topic we will move to Iran. Break up. A class around 55 minutes now. After some time I will give you a break, 2 minutes break, 2 or 5 minutes, or you take a break now. Okay, you take a break and we will again start after 5 minutes. Okay, you take a break, no problem. Because if you are not able to follow means, then my task will become difficult. Okay, take 5 minutes. We will again we'll start. Okay, somebody is asking, so don't ask the questions here afterwards. Okay, so the point is, so don't do open chat box means somebody, if they have any audio video problem, means how I will know. So yesterday, that's why I did not open the chat box. That's why first 10 minutes without video it was running. Okay, so I have to open the chat box to check whether people are able to hear and listen. I mean, see it. Okay. But I'm asking you people to not to ask a question, but you people cannot உணர்ச்சியை கட்டுப்படுத்தணும். ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்கலாம், போடுங்க, ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. At the end of the class, I will answer. Okay. Keep all your questions. You note down all your questions. What all the doubts you are having, just note it down. I will answer. Okay. At the end of the class, I will answer. So don't ask questions in between. So just give message in chat box only if there is a audio video issue. Okay, if you don't have network means, then you have to sort it out. So from my side, any issue is there, just intimate. Okay, so so that I will again recheck it. Okay, so now we will start with Iran. Start with Iran. See, Iran is one of the 3 power centers in West Asia. So this we know. Okay. And note that among the 3 power centers, Israel is the most powerful country, no doubt. Although the population is small, the territory is small, they are the most influential people. Okay, so we will discuss that later. But among the 3, Iran is an all-rounder. Saudi Arabia is a cultural leader. Okay, 85% of the Islamic community, they accept Saudi Arabia as their leader. And the two important cultural centers of Islamic community, that means Mecca and Medina, is in Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia is also very rich in oil resources. So these are all the reasons why Saudi Arabia is important. But in Iran is a powerful country in terms of size. The size of the country is big. The population of the country is big. They have a big military. They are good in technology. They have oil. Culturally also they are influenced. That means influential because 15% of the total Islamic community of the world, they follow Iran. So Iran is one of the powerful country in that particular. It is an all-rounder. So in cricket, bowlers are there, batsmen are there, but all-rounder are there. No, like that, Iran is an all-rounder. That is. So with respect to Iran, we have a very good relation. Okay, historic relation. Okay, but anyway, so Iran got a constitution since 1906. So what happened is, after 1900 only, oil was founded in Iran. So actually the oil was founded by a UK company. So you might have heard about a company named BP. BP means not Bharat Petroleum, it is British Petroleum. So earlier, this BP was called Anglo-Iranian Oil Corporation. Anglo means India, Iranian Oil Corporation, which is completely controlled by the Western powers. They only explored oil and got license from the Iranian government, and they simply exploited all the resources from Iran. So this is what they were doing during the first part of this 1900. Okay, but what happened is in 1953, the president of Iran, he tried to nationalize the oil resources of Iran. See, what is called nationalization? Nationalization means the oil here afterwards belongs to the government. Government means government is formed of people, no? So the oil belongs to the people. That means the benefits of the oil should reach the people. So this is called nationalization. If government takes control over everything means the point is the government is people's government. So the people are, so that means from private it going public, that's all. So that means if the oil wells are nationalized, means what will happen? The Anglo-Iranian Oil Corporation will lose its rights, oil exploring rights, drilling rights. So it will lose revenue. So that's why what this Anglo-Iranian Oil Corporation did is, with the help of their own government, US government and UK government, because these countries were benefiting from that. They overthrown that government, Iranian government itself. See, they are drilling oil in another country. But the other country is not now ready to continue the license. So what this country, imperial powers are doing, these great powers, so-called great powers, they have overthrown the government itself. And in that place, they installed a regime called Pahlavi Shah. His name is Pahlavi Shah. So Pahlavi Shah dynasty has been installed in Iran. So earlier there was a government which was elected by the people. The people's president was there. The president tried to nationalize the oil field. The UK and US will lose the oil rights in Iran. So to ensure that, what they did is they overthrown the government itself. This is how people become superpowers, not this. Okay. Some countries they are calling themselves a superpower. Only when you have to go and exploit other country, you can become strong. Okay. So US and UK, again what they did is they overthrown the legitimate government and installed another ruler. His name is Shah. So Shah took over power in Iran in 1953. And in return for the help, See, the Shah is not interested in Sunni, Shia, Muslims, not that and all. He is interested only in power. And to be in power, who is supporting Shah? US and UK are supporting Shah. So Shah gave all the oil field list again to US and UK. Now these countries again, now in a faster manner, they began to drill oil and exploit the Iranian oil. So in Iran, under their ground, the country's ground, they have oil. But the point is, the benefits of this oil is not reaching the people of Iran. See, if we have some resources in India, who should benefit from these resources? We, the people of India, have to get benefit. If some other country is getting the benefit, means this is what happened in Iran. So that's, and literally, the Shah, he acted like an autocrat. Autocrat means dictator. Dictator means, autocrat means whatever he wants, he will do it. Okay, he's simply like a king. King is an autocrat. So Shah literally acted like an autocrat. So as a result, what happened is lot of people suffered in Iran. Economic meltdown was there. No employment. Price rise was there. Goods were not available. Education was not properly available. Health facilities. So simply maladministration was there. But Shah was living very happily. So, so what happened is Iran is a Shia country, no? So the political leader Shah is not good. So automatically the religious leader, his name is Imam. Imam is the religious leader of Shia people. So the Iranian country, the Imam, his name is Ayatollah Khomeini. His name is Ayatollah Khomeini. I will discuss about him later. Okay. So this guy rose against this Shah and issued statement that the Iran is suffering because of Shah's administration only. The Shah is giving importance to US and UK and forgot to rule Iran. So Shah has completely forgotten the people of Iran. Like that, he openly criticized the rule of Shah. So for this, the Imam Ayatollah, he was exiled to some other country. He went to some other country. He was exiled. He was not allowed to live in Iran itself. But what, and again, what after the Ayatollah went out of the country, again what happened? The people suffering increased only. So finally what happened is in April 1979, Iranian revolution started. The people of Iran, they revolted against Shah. They revolted against Shah, Pahlavi Shah. Okay. And what they did is, what is common for the entire Iranian population? Shia-based Islam. So all the people revolted and overthrown the Shah government. And what they did is, they installed a Shia-based government there in Iran. Okay, if you have doubt, means just ask the doubt at the end of the class. Many times I am reminding. Okay. So let me continue the class. Okay, so this is the understanding. So Iran was a constitutional government in from 1906. In 1953, you have to note that the president. Hey, why can't you ask the question at the last? Okay, so Iran has a constitutional government. The constitutionally elected president tried to nationalize the oil field, which go against the interest of US and UK. That's why they overthrew the president itself. And then they installed a new ruler called Shah. Shah favored US and UK. Iran's economic position deteriorated. And finally what happened is, the people of Iran, they rose against their ruler Shah and overthrown that particular ruler and made Iran an Islamic republic. So that revolution only we call it as Iranian Revolution 1979. So that means from 1953 to 1979, Iran was a friendly country to US because Shah was ruling the country. Because the pro-US, pro-UK Shah was overthrown by Iran since 1979, Iran-US relationship went down. So this is the understanding. Okay. So from 1979, Iran and US are arch enemies. Why? Iran went against that means Iran population only overthrown the Shah, Pahlavi Shah. So what happened is, this Pahlavi Shah with the 2-3 flights full of gold, he escaped to US and he settled there. But the Iranian population wanted the Shah to come back to Iran and face court trial, because during his regime he did a lot of administrative excesses. So to stop those, to try this kind of excesses, they want Shah to come to court and face the case. But Shah and US said that I am not sending Shah. That's why what Iranian people did is they went and put a siege over US embassy there in Tehran in Iran. The US embassy was under siege. That means nearly 400 US population. The US, including the diplomat, the foreign officers from the officers from foreign department from US, they were all under siege. They were confined to the Tehran US embassy. After that siege continued for nearly 300-400 days. That means for more than a year, Iran did not allow the US people who are working there in US embassy to go. This is why US and Iran relationship went very, very down. After 1 year, Iran finally allowed this the diplomats who are working and other assistant officers who are working in the Iranian embassy to go out of. See, actually, you have to note that. Don't think that the map, for example, where Indian territory is there, I mean, don't show that Indian territory is only in South Asia. The Indian map is there. Here, this is Indian territory. No, it is not the same. If Indian embassy is there in any country, in US, Indian embassy is there. That is the Indian territory. Okay. Like that in Pakistan, Indian embassy is there. That is the Indian territory. In England, Indian embassy is there. High Commissioner office is there. That is the Indian territory. Like that, the Pakistan office in India is a Pakistani territory. So this is according to Geneva Convention. That means, for example, Indian territory is there in Pakistan. Means Pakistan armed forces cannot enter into that particular territory. If they enter into Indian embassy office in High Commissioner office in Pakistan, means that means the inference is they are violating Indian territory. They are entering into India. That is the understanding. Okay. So according to Geneva Convention, all foreign embassies are protected. They are the territory of the respected countries. Which foreign embassy is there? For example, Sri Lankan foreign embassy is there in Chennai. Means that is a Sri Lankan territory. Note this. Okay, that is a Sri Lankan territory. I will tell you one more thing. If Indian ship is there in US, means in the Indian ship is a floating Indian territory. If US ship is there in Indian coast, means that US ship is a floating US territory. So this and all international conventions. Okay, just for understanding. So now Iran is under Iran now have gone under Shia-based Islamic country. Now Iran is no more a secular one. Secular means now state has a religion. Earlier state did not have a religion. What is secularism? If a country, that means the state has a religion, means it is a religious country. Indian state, the state of India doesn't have a religion. So India is a secular country. Islamic state of Pakistan. Pakistan is an Islamic state. Islamic state means that Pakistan state has a religion. See, I am a person, I have a religion, I am a Hindu. Like that, India is a state that doesn't have a religion. So it is secular. Pakistan, it is a state which is religious. Israel is a religious Jewish country. Okay. So, so like that, now Iran has become a Shia-based Islamic country. That is one. Voice is breaking. Tell us again, means from where you want me to tell. Okay. So Iran is a okay. So check that you have proper audio video, okay, and net connectivity. Okay. Okay. Anyway, we'll continue. Okay. Again, I will summarize this and move to the next slide. So Iran became a constitution country in 1906. Till 1953, a leader elected by the people was there. See, I am repeating. Okay, so constitution has Iran has a constitution country since 1906, and then till 1953, you have to note that a constitutionally elected leader was ruling the country, and he tried to nationalize the oil field, which went against the interest of US and UK. So US UK overthrown that leader and installed Shah. Shah is the puppet of US and UK. Under Shah, Iran went to autocratic route. It was under an autocratic. So the people of Iran, they rose against Shah, and Shah fled to US. And the people of Iran made Iran an Islamic country, Shia-based Islam. And not only that, the people of Iran, they want Shah to come back to Iran. So US was not ready to send Shah back to Iran. That's why the Iranian population, they went to put siege over US embassy and kept nearly 400 people for more than 400 days as hostage. And after that, they released it. So that's why Iran-US relationship is not good. Then we'll move to the next one. So Shah fled the country, and the Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, the Imam, he came back to Iran from exile. Now Iran has become an Islamic republic. Okay, republic means the state is republic. The state has now have a religion. So Iran is now a religious country. It is having a theocratic constitution. Constitution means rules and regulations written by the people to protect themselves. Okay, and theocracy means religion. So religion-based constitution. Constitution means polity. This is religion. So the Iranian polity is mixed with religion. Why means because in India, in parliament, we have Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Like that, in Iran, all the decisions, they have a parliament, constitutionally elected parliament will be there. It works based on the constitution only. But after taking any decision in the Iranian parliament, it has to get the approval from the Elders Council. There is one council called Elders Council will be there. The Elders Council will be headed by this Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. That means the Imam. He's the Imam. The religious leaders will be there. So whatever decision, laws, policies, schemes Iran is taking, they will check it with the Islamic law. Whether the law policy is with respect to Islamic law, they will check it. If it is okay means, then they will approve it. If it is against Islamic law means, they will cancel it. Okay, so that is the meaning of theocratic constitution. So followed by the Iranian political revolution, Iranian cultural revolution started. Iranian cultural revolution. The cultural revolution continued from 1980 to 1987. Theocratic constitution means religious elements in politics. In India, clearly is a secular country. No religion is allowed to intervene in the constitution, parliament, other things, constitution, etc. But in Iran, you have to note that whatever decision the parliament is taking, the religious leaders will check that whether the decision is in accordance to the Islamic law, Shariat law. They will check it. Whether it is according to Quran, they will check it. If some decision, the government is taking a decision against the religion, they won't allow it. That's why Iranian constitution is called a theocratic constitution. Theocracy means religion-based constitution. Indian constitution is a secular constitution. So no importance to any religion. Okay, maybe we might have given some kind of protection to the minority religions, but we won't favor any religion. India doesn't care about religion, but Iran, everything is religion only. Finally, the religious people have to approve. So it was followed by one minute. It was followed by Iranian cultural revolution. The cultural revolution was there for nearly some time. Okay. Iran is having a constitution. Constitution always head of the country is elected by constitution methods only. They have constitution. No? Constitution means they have rules, regulation, how to run a government only. That is the constitution book. So everything is, polity is there, but at the same time, religion is also there. That is called theocratic constitution. And note that what is Iranian cultural revolution? Purging of Western and non-Islamic influence in Iran and bringing the entire Iran under Shia-based Islam. That is called cultural revolution. Because during the Shah's regime from 1953 to 1979, he allowed Western culture to enter into Iran. So now Iran has become a religious country. Now no more Western culture. Non-Islamic culture is not allowed in Iran. Now Iran has completely become a Shia country, Shia-based Islamic country. Okay. But Shah fled the country, and again he returned back when Iran has become an Islamic country. That's all, very simple. Okay. So what is Iranian culture revolution? Purging of Western and non-Islamic influence in Iran and bringing the entire Iran under Islam, Shia-based Islam. That is called cultural revolution. Okay. So here afterwards, only Shia-based Islam. What is approved in Shia-based Islam? Only should be practiced in Iran. For example, no drinks is available in Iran. No tasmak is there in Iran. Okay. Even when you are when a flight is flying over the Iranian territory, some foreign flight, just to go to the other part of the world. Even in the flight, they will give an announcement. Since we are crossing the Iranian territory, liquor is not allowed to serve. Okay, so like that. So because serving liquor and all is banned in Islam. Okay, that's why. That is the reason. Okay, so this is Iranian cultural revolution. Okay, and again, I'm telling as a part of the cultural revolution only, the Imam, the Ayatollah Khomeini was the Imam by the time. The Imam said that wherever Shia population is there, the country should be ruled by a Shia. So this this statement infuriated the neighboring country Iraq, Saddam Hussein. That's why in 1980 Iran-Iraq war was fought. So this we know. Okay. Now we will enter into the present problem of Iran. What is the problem in Iran? We will know. Okay. See, actually, the present issue is regarding Iran was going for some kind of nuclear program. Regarding that only, US and other countries and Iran had some kind of dispute. How it started and what is the position today, that we will discuss today. Okay. See, actually, again, if there is any problem, war or terrorism means again this US people only will be behind that. Why I'm telling this? Because in 1950, you see, it was US who introduced the nuclear technology to Iran. Because US people wanted to get benefit, they wanted trade. Actually, Iran doesn't need any energy because already they are very rich in oil and gas. But US wanted to sell its nuclear reactor because Shah was ruling Iran by the time. Because Shah is a puppet of US only introduced the nuclear energy into Iran. That is for peace program. That is only for producing electricity. But what happened is in 1979, during after the political revolution, cultural revolution was there, no? As a part of the cultural revolution, this Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, the Imam of the country, he said that he is going to disband. He is going to disband. That means no more nuclear power. Not only weapons, no more nuclear power will be there in Iran. Like that he said. Why he said that? Because you have to note that this nuclear technology, culture. What is cultural revolution? Non-Islamic influence has to be eliminated. So this Ayatollah Khomeini said that according to Islam, according to Shia-based Islam, having nuclear weapons and nuclear power is haram. Haram means sinful activity. Why sinful activity? Because it is a destructive energy technology. Already we know in Japan 2 bombs were put. Okay, during the Second World War. Okay, it is a destructive, and Iran also doesn't need energy also from nuclear technology. That's why this Ayatollah Khomeini said that all the Iranian nuclear research program, Iran is going to disband. Disband means no more. Hereafterwards, Iran will not involve in any type of nuclear related activity. Like that, the Ayatollah Khomeini, what he did is, he, as a part of the cultural revolution, he announced it. That means Iran, hereafterwards, officially, because of the religion, they won't have nuclear technology. So this is the idea of that day's Imam, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. Okay, he is the religious leader of the country. And you have to note that Ayatollah Khomeini's period ended in 1989. He died because of his old age. And new Imam took control of the country. Okay, so this is the nuclear program. But what happened is, after the Iranian Imam Ayatollah Khomeini died in 1989, the Iran's government began to do some kind of research in nuclear related technology. You can understand. So this is what happened. This is the problem. So from 1979, it's in 1979, during the starting of the cultural revolution, it's one of the first thing Ayatollah did was, Iran will not have nuclear technology, because Iran doesn't want nuclear technology. Nuclear technology is a sinful activity because it is a Western idea. Okay, a harmful technology. That's why Iran said that according to Shia-based Islam, nuclear weapons or nuclear technology is a haram, sinful. It is against the religion. Like that Ayatollah announced. And they stopped all the nuclear related activity. But after his death, Iran government began to involve in nuclear related research. Okay, so Western countries now, particularly who is the arch enemy of Iran? Saudi Arabia on one side. Other enemy, arch enemy of Iran is Israel because of the Israel-Palestine problem. Yeah, Iran is supporting the Palestinian people. We will discuss that later. So the point is, Israel accused Iran that Iran is developing nuclear weapon. So immediately what happened is all the Western countries, they passed a resolution in United Nations Security Council and they put an economic sanction against Iran. They put an economic sanction. It is a United Nations sanction approved by UNSC, United Nations Security Council. So Iran was singled out. Iran was isolated from world politics and world economy. No, nobody is allowed to have any type of relationship with Iran. It is a United Nations sanction. Okay, nobody is allowed to have any type of relationship with Iran. Iran's assets outside Iran were completely frozen. Okay, if Iran has any bank account outside Iran, those money and all is frozen, means Iran cannot access it. Iranians are not allowed to enter into Western country, particularly US and European countries. No country is allowed to have any type of trade with Iran. And because of this UN sanction, India was one of the countries who got affected. Why? Means because 1/3 during this period, 1/3 of the total oil and gas, we are buying it from Iran only. Okay, 1/3 of the oil and gas. See, death of Akoyama Khomeini, what do you want? Ayatollah Khomeini died when he became old, that's all. And after his death, Iran started nuclear program. So this is the point. Okay, Iran started nuclear program. So when Iran started involved in secret nuclear program, world countries blamed that Iran is testing nuclear weapon. That's why United Nations Security Council, in United Nations Security Council, they passed a resolution against Iran and they put economic sanction against Iran. Economic sanction means in terms of economy, nobody should have a relationship with Iran. It is called economic sanction. So that means, again I'm telling you, India got affected because of this. 1/3 of our total energy needs, oil, gas, were coming from Iran only. Okay, it was coming from Iran only. Okay. So you can if you have any issue, you can sort it out at the last. So see, if one person has some problem, means you wanted to go back, means all the other 400 students are waiting now. Okay, so judiciously you have to ask questions. Okay, so if you want to interrupt the class, means something if it is very important, then you can interrupt. You can ask all the questions at the last. So India was importing 1/3 of our oil requirement from Iran. So Iran is supplying us oil. We were not able to pay back to Iran. Why? Means because Iran international currency is US currency. Everybody knows US dollar is the international currency. US will not allow India to pay to Iran. So that's why Iran was singled out. So now we have to we have to get certain things. 1, 2, 3 things. Question number 1. So I have the slide is there, no? See, Iran is not the only country who is having nuclear weapon. There are other countries are there who are having nuclear weapon. Why those countries, on those countries, this kind of economic sanctions are not there? Take the case of India. India is the unrecognized nuclear power. Okay, India is the unrecognized nuclear power. See, notes, for notes during the class time, you can take it. Okay, I will give you some transcripts. What all we are discussing today, I will give you in transcript. Okay, just listen. This is what we can do now. Okay. So India is a unrecognized nuclear power. So in that particular point, why this kind of pressure India was not isolated? Why this kind of economic sanction was not put on India? Actually, it was put on India within a year. It was lifted. So India is also having nuclear weapon, no? But Iran doesn't have nuclear weapon, but it is it is going for nuclear weapon. That's why what happened? World countries put economic sanctions. Why Iran alone is a problem? Israel itself is having nuclear weapon. Why this kind of pressure is not there on Israel? Why this kind of pressure is not there on other countries who have nuclear weapon? So this is question number one that we have to find out. And then two, the friends of Iran are there in United Nations Security Council. Who are the friends of Iran? China and Russia. Already we know that they are all close allies. See, for Iran, China is the number one customer. India is the number two customer in terms of buying oil. So Iran and China are close allies, one. And Iran and Russia are also close allies. They are in the United Nations Security Council. And Iran and Russia and China, you have to note that they have veto power also. So in that circumstances, why Russia did not put a veto on Iran's case? Why China was not able to put vote on Iran? That means put the veto on Iran's case. So this is the question. Okay. Okay. So see, first initially what happened is when world countries said that Iran is doing some nuclear weapon. I will answer that. I will answer all the question. Okay, don't worry. Okay, and then I will put this question in a different way. See, in 1998, when we went to nuclear weapon for the second time during Vajpayee's period, world countries put economic sanction against India. Do you know how India defended that? See, the question is, other countries also have a nuclear weapon. Why economic sanction only on Iran? That is question number one. And why Iran's friend Russia and China were not in a position to put a veto in favor of Iran and block the resolution? And then third question I am asking. Now I am asking. See, in 1998 when India went to nuclear, what happened is world countries put economic sanction. Do you know how India defended? India said that having nuclear weapon is my right. It is my sovereign right. I will have to have nuclear weapon or not to have nuclear weapon is my right. Like that India said. Like that India said. Okay, having nuclear weapon or not to have nuclear weapon is my right. Like that India said. Okay. And India said that India is a sovereign country. And India also said that I am having nuclear weapon to protect myself. My enemies, particularly China, is having nuclear weapon. China is frequently invading India. So, how to protect India from China? China is a nuclear power, so we have to have nuclear power. So, nuclear technology acts as a particular nuclear weapon acts as a deterrence to China. Deterrence. Deterrence means a caution, warning. What is deterrence? Deterrence theory, nuclear deterrence. What is nuclear deterrence? I will tell you. So you are after the class you are going home. Okay. When you are going home on the way, daily one dog is chasing you. What you will do? What is the option we have? Take an alternate way. See, that is the straight way to your home. You want to eat means you have to eat like that. You should not eat like this. Okay. So that means now what the need of the hour is you have to sort out the problem, not change your way. So next time what you have to do is you have to go with a big stick. That's all. I am not asking you to beat the dog with the stick. You have the stick. The dog will understand that if dog does something means it will get beaten. So dog will not create problem. Similarly, if India is having or any country is having this kind of weapons means, so all the so you have to note that have biscuit. Go and try with a pit bull or with a Rottweiler or with a Rajapalayam dog. You go and put biscuit means it will bite your or it will take your entire hand. Okay. So giving biscuit means giving gift. That is also okay. It is one foreign policy strategy only. But the other way is you have to give a warning to your enemy. If you are harming me means I am having this weapon, I will use against you. So that is called deterrence theory. So to deter China, we are having nuclear weapon. Because India is having nuclear weapon, China went to nuclear. Why? Nuclear deterrence. If India does anything against Pakistan, if India does anything against Pakistan, Pakistan will use its nuclear weapon against India. That's why India is not invading Pakistan. Pakistan is a small country. conventional warfare, Pakistan will get defeated. But yet, why Pakistan? Why we are not invading Pakistan? Why can't we use our military and take back the entire Kashmir? It's not possible. Pakistan is a nuclear weapon country. Why China cannot wage a full-scale war with India? Because India is a nuclear weapon country. So India said that to deter my enemy, I have a right to have nuclear weapon. So this is my self-defense, like that India said. So now the question is, which side India voted when the vote went against Iran? The world countries were putting a sanction against Iran, not during the economic sanction. Which side India voted? Normally, India should at least remain neutral, or India should support Iran. But India went against Iran. India said that Iran developing nuclear weapon is not acceptable. See, what I'm telling is, when we were under trouble, what India said? India have every right, India have sovereign right to protect against my enemy. I have every right to self-defense and all, like that India gave a statement. Similar statement only Iran is having. All the countries around Iran are enemies of Iran. All the terrorist groups who are in Afghan region, wherever terrorist people are there, you have to note that except Hezbollah, other terrorist organizations are Sunni-based terrorist organizations. All doesn't like Iran. So Iran is the target for all the terrorist groups except Hezbollah. Saudi Arabia doesn't like Iran. Israel doesn't like Iran. US doesn't like Iran. UK doesn't like Iran. Nobody doesn't like Iran. So Iran have a lot more enemies than what India is having. India is having just because of border problem, but Iran, because of cultural problem, lot of other issues Iran is facing. So, so Iran also have every right to have nuclear weapon, every right to have the nuclear deterrence. Okay, so because see, everybody have our ultimately I said a country works for its national interest alone. To ensure our national interest, a country can do anything. Even you can do bad things just to protect yourself and your people. So this is the unwritten law in international relations. You can justify. I'm not telling it is correct, but it is. You can justify your actions. So Iran went in. Iran, whether it is going for nuclear or not, that is not a question. If Iran says that having nuclear weapon is my right, I want to protect myself, means it is acceptable. See, world countries are allowing the enemy of Iran to have nuclear weapon. But world countries are, for example, India is allowed to have nuclear weapon. So just this is a scenario. World countries allow India to have nuclear weapon and Pakistan not to have nuclear weapon. Do you think that Pakistan will accept? Pakistan will never accept. For example, India, so this is what happened between India and China. World countries have accepted China as a nuclear power. But world countries are not accepting India as a nuclear power. But still India defying against the entire world, telling that I have every right to have nuclear. Okay, so we will discuss this nuclear issue in a separate class. But anyway, so in this issue, India voted against Iran's favor. That means India said that if Iran is going for nuclear weapon, that is not. See, what is this? One rule for yourself, one rule for the others. Like that, India is doing. Do you think that India have voted in a wrong way? Definitely, this is because of the pressure given by US only. But at least if US is pressurizing, means, and Iran is a close ally of India. Instead of voting for Iran, at least India should have abstained from voting. That means India should have put neutral vote in United Nations Security Council. India did not do that. Instead, India voted against Iran, telling that Iran is what Iran did is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Okay. Why this is the case? Why means because the answer is Iran signed NPT treaty, Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. That means Iran gave a commitment to the world that Iran will not test nuclear weapon, because that was during this Ayatollah's period. Ayatollah, by the time he himself said that this is religiously we have to ban this kind of technology, like that he banned that technology. So later what happened is Iran signed the NPT treaty. NPT, Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, came into force in 1970. So no country will have nuclear weapon except the 5 nuclear weapon. That is US, UK, France, Russia and China. Except these 5 countries, no country should hereafterwards should test nuclear weapon. And in Indian case, you have to know that India did not sign the NPT treaty, Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. We openly said that no, I will not accept this kind of treaty. Because India was the sixth country who was about to become nuclear. By the time only this nuclear treaty came into force, India did not sign. India is not a party to the treaty. But Iran was a party to the treaty. So India voted against Iran not because that Iran went nuclear. The reason is Iran went against an international treaty. See, that the point is, see, I can do bad things. That is not an issue. But if in front of all you people, I am giving you a promise. So here afterwards, I won't do that. Then I have to honor it. After that, I can't do that. Okay, like that. Iran, in front of the international community, it has accepted by signing a treaty, by signing and ratifying a treaty, that Iran will not have nuclear. So after accepting, giving a commitment to the world, that making the people to believe that I will not do anything, you are secretly doing something, means then you will be punished by the world. So that's why all the countries put economic sanctions. That's why even China and Russia were not in a position to put this, that means to veto this resolution in favor of Iran. So the resolution was Iran defied an international treaty. Okay, already India officially have a policy according to Article 51. India will respect all international treaties and obligations. So in the first class I have shown. Not in the article itself is that. In Constitution itself, this is that. Okay. So so the point is, Iran defied the world. So I am giving you. See, I am a teacher. You are a student. I am not answerable to you. Take the case. I am doing something, means that is up to me. Okay, you can't come and question me. But I am in front of you people. I am giving you a promise. I am going to do this. So you people accept that. So real. But I am doing against that, means then I have to be penalized. This is the understanding. Okay, that's why Iran got into it. So India voted against Iran not because that Iran is going nuclear weapon. Iran has given a commitment that it is not going to have nuclear weapon, but it is going nuclear weapon. So you are deceiving the entire world. That is the problem. You can't go against international treaty. This is the understanding. You go against international treaty means the country may accept economic sanction. So that's why Iran went under trouble. Iran was singled out. India, who is a friend of Iran and who is a beneficiary of Iran. From Iran, we are buying oil. 1/3 of our, see, that's why what this sanction was put in 2005 to 2010. By the time there was a big energy crisis was there in India. So I think you may know. By the time energy power cut was there, daily 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. Like that power cut was there, even in big cities. Normally in villages, many areas power cut will be there. But in cities also power cut was there. So that means 1/3 of our energy requirement was satisfied by Iran. But we were not able to import oil from Iran. But yet India voted against Iran. Why? Means because Iran defied the entire world. It gave a commitment and you should not back. Without a commitment, I am doing something, means I have every right to do that. Okay, nobody can come and intervene what I am doing in my home. But I am giving a commitment to the world that I will do this. By signing a treaty and doing the opposite, means then the country will attract economic sanctions and even military sanctions. Okay, so Iran was under economic sanctions. But Iran initially said that, I am not doing any research. But later Israel gave all the proof that Iran definitely is involved in nuclear research. Then Iran said that yes, I am doing nuclear research. But this nuclear research is not associated with developing weapon. I am trying to develop civil nuclear technology just for using for civil purpose only. I am doing it. Is audio clear? One student said that no audio. Is the audio clear? Okay, thank you. Okay. So you student, please check. You have to check yourself. Okay, you check from your side. Voice breaking. So check from your side. That may be because of internet connection, slow internet connection from your side. My side is Paka. Okay, so Iran is under trouble. Okay, so now Iran is under sanction. Iran cannot have trade with anyone. Iran cannot have any kind of relationship with anyone. Iran suffered. Okay, then what happened is Iran was about to get collapse. So if the sanction continues for another 1 or 2 years, means because the sanction was there on Iran for nearly for 5-6 years, 7-8 years, like that. Okay, but what happened is the people of Iran suffered. So the Iranian population thought that if this sanction continues for some more years, Iran will collapse. Iran will die. That is the understanding. See, nobody is giving you food, energy, or any kind of technology, any kind of help to humans. How can you survive in this world? Okay, how a single person cannot be self-reliant in everything. We need the help of others also. Like that, every country needs the help of others. Suppose all the world countries cut off relation with one country, means that country cannot survive for a more time. So Iran was collapsing complete. It was about to die. That is the understanding. It is going to die. Iran is completely going to fall down. Like that was that. So during this time, Iran had election. In that election, what happened is people voted for a particular person who is little liberal, who is having a liberal principle. He's a liberal guy. Liberal guy means who will go according to the. So that means who can open talks with the Western country and settle for some kind of settlement. That means deal. So like that, what happened is a leader named Hassan Rouhani, he became the president of, leader of Iran. So people elected Hassan Rouhani because people thought that having nuclear weapon on the other side, the revival of the economy. People thought the revival of the economy is number one because Iran was suffering, no? So reviving the economy should be given number one choice. So that's why they voted for Hassan Rouhani, and Hassan Rouhani opened a negotiation with Western countries to end this economic sanction. As a result of this, what happened is in 2015. In 2015, I'm telling, there was a deal signed. The deal is called Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action for Iran's Nuclear Program. The heading is Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action for Iran's Nuclear Program 2015. A deal was made between Iran government and the Western countries. Iran government and the Western countries. Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action for Iran's Nuclear Program. Okay, Hassan Rouhani and the Western country, they signed a deal, a settlement deal. Okay, so that deal is also called P5 plus, between P5 plus 1 and Iran. So the two parties, Iran on one side, P5 plus 1 on the other side, they signed it. P5 plus 1 is also called E3 plus 3, European 3 plus 3. What is E3? UK, France, and Germany. Because first we have to note that P5 plus 1 means the permanent 5 members in United Nations Security Council plus Germany. So altogether 6 countries, they negotiated a deal with Iran and settled for this JCPOA, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action 2015. So the 5 permanent 5 members in United Nations Security Council plus Germany is also added. So the P5 plus 1 is also called E3 plus 3. UK, France, Germany plus non-European 3. Russia, China, and US. So they signed a deal with Iran. That deal is called Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action for Iran. Okay. So in this deal, what happened is the P5 plus 1 or the E3 plus 3, they got satisfied that Iran will not have the capacity to develop nuclear bomb. That means Iran will not test nuclear weapon. They ensured that. They put certain conditions on Iran, and Iran also accepted that. Okay, I will not go for testing bombs. But I will restrict my nuclear program for peaceful use only. That means Iran ensured that Iran can develop civil nuclear technology. But Iran again gave another promise through this JCPOA in 2015 that Iran will not go for nuclear weapon. I will have nuclear technology, but I will use it only for peaceful purpose. So all the economic sanction, international sanctions, again Iran were lifted. So economic sanction came to an end. This is the benefit Iran is getting. So Iran is giving a reprieve. Reprieve means a pardon. Okay, So we will revoke the economic sanctions. In return, you have to again give a open promise that you will not go for nuclear weapon. So Iran said that yes, I will not go for nuclear weapon. I will test. I'm going for civil nuclear technology, which is allowed all over the world. No country can be denied that civil nuclear technology unless the particular country is problematic. So Iran retained its right to have civil nuclear technology, but Iran will not have military technology. So the deal was deal came to an end. Okay. Then how we know that Iran is doing the nuclear the things what they are doing it research in the country is only meant for civil purpose. For that there is one organization named IAEA, is that International Atomic Energy Agency. IAEA. IAEA is an International Atomic Energy Agency. International Atomic Energy Agency, who is responsible for ensuring that all the world countries, they are using nuclear technology only for peaceful purpose, not for military purpose. So IAEA inspection team will go to Iran and check that Iran is doing only civil nuclear research. Iran will never test bomb. So this is the based on the promise given by Iran, economic sanction against Iran were lifted. So this is what happened in 2015 under President Obama. By the time President Obama regime was there in US. Okay. So P5+1 ensured that Iran will never have the capacity to develop bombs, but Iran will have. We can use the technology for civil purpose. So all these things were ensured by P5+1. Okay. So now here I have to ask two questions. One is, see, P5 countries negotiating with Iran means okay. Why they have included one more country? And the other question is why that one more country should not be India? Why India can't be that member? Because India is the sixth power, biggest country in the world in terms of power, capacity, and okay, fifth largest economy. We are the fifth largest economy. We have the second biggest standing army. We are one of the powerful country, peace-loving country. Then why India is not included? And why Germany is included? Okay, why what the equal power axis? No, see, this is one question. The reason is India itself is an unrecognized nuclear power. Can understand? So Iran, only 5 countries are recognized. India, regarding nuclear technology, India is also a problematic country. But world country as of now accepted that since India is a peace-loving country, India will not use it against anyone. But India's target is China and Pakistan. Western countries are not the target, so they don't have any problem. That's why Western countries accepted India. Okay, this is one. And the other thing is India is a friend of Iran. India is a beneficiary of Iran. See, already in P5 countries, 5 countries, 2 countries are openly supporting Iran. The thing is, earlier when Iran went against the international commitment, that's why Russia, China was not in favor of Iran. But in other things, Russia and China are supporting Iran only. If Iran goes nuclear open means it is good for Russia and China. This is the understanding. So it is difficult for the P5 members. Among the P5 members, 2 camps are there. 2 countries supporting Iran, 3 countries opposing Iran. If they include India, means India will also join with China and Russia, and it will become 3:3. So to avoid that, only they included Germany. Germany is in lines with Western country. So P5+1 means 4 countries opposing Iran and 2 countries supporting it. Like that. You can understand. So this is one explanation of why P5+1. Okay. So coming to the other most important question. So this is the beauty in international relation. Anything may happen. This is the thing. Okay. Okay. The point is, no country like Iran doesn't like Iran. Saudi want Iran to come to be eliminated. Israel doesn't want Iran. US doesn't want Iran. England doesn't want Iran. France doesn't want Iran. France is not a problematic country, but except China and Russia, no country like Iran. Okay, so this is among the big powers I'm telling. Okay, and Iran is going down during the economic sanction. Iran was about to collapse. That means about to die. That is the understanding. Somebody is going to die. The problematic person in our area is going to die because of some problem. Suddenly, someone gave oxygen to that particular person. That means suddenly, when Iran was about to completely collapse, someone from P5+1 ensured that Iran will again come. Okay, through this, why not Japan? Japan is not a powerful country. Okay, so the point is, among the P5+1, somebody might have helped Iran to go for this particular deal. See, all US, Saudi, Israel, and other Western country have to do is do nothing with Iran. Already the economic sanction against Iran is in place during the sanctions. Okay, so but now what happened is, see, if you are intervening means what I am coming to say, I am getting a block. Okay, Germany is included because Germany is in lines with Western country. They also doesn't like Iran. That's all, very simple. So P5+1, someone from this group might have helped Iran. Otherwise, Iran will not have this agreement will not have been materialized between Iran and the P5+1. Among P5+1, that means the 5 powerful country plus Germany, somebody might have helped Iran. Otherwise, the JCPOA deal will not be reached. That is the understanding. So so naturally our answer will be Russia. Russia is an open supporter of Iran. They are close allies. But if Russia is trying to do something, means who will not accept it? US will not accept it. US will put veto. Okay. So see, Russia want Iran out of trouble. Yes. But Russia is unable to help Iran in P5. Why? Means because the US will not allow it. Okay. China does means again US will put veto in any decision. See, to revoke the economic sanction also, UN resolution has to be passed. In any US resolution, any P5 countries can put vote. But for the economic sanction, Russia and China put vote. They did not put veto. Why? Means because Iran defied the international treaty. But to revoke the economic sanction, if Russia is taking the initiative or China is taking the initiative, definitely I'm telling US will put veto. US will want Iran to continue continue to remain in the international sanction, and finally Iran will completely die. This is the understanding. Then England, France. See, England and France are dummy powers. They are old power. They are the powers of the last 2-3 centuries. Now they are living in the old historical fame. That's all. Old fame. That's all. Okay. They are not that like Rajinikanth. Rajinikanth was a superstar some years before, but now he has become old. Still living in the old fame like that. This England was the superpower. France was the next superpower. Control the entire world, but not today. Today they are dummy piece. Germany is not that much influential country. Today economically they are very good. That's all. And finally only one country is remained. US. It was US who rescued Iran out of the trouble. Otherwise, the final time the oxygen cylinder was given by US. Okay. Now we have to discuss why US should help Iran. See, already we know that the relationship between US and Iran is not good. Am I right? Relation between the two countries are not good since 1979. This Iran has completely what they have done. They have I will answer, don't worry. Okay. So okay, good. Answering is good, but we'll see. The thing is, US and Iran doesn't like each other. This Iran has put a siege over US embassy. US embassy means it is a US territory in Iran. That is called US embassy. Already I have said. And they have completely put a siege over 400 US citizens. That too diplomats, foreign officers, for nearly 400 days. US was not able to do anything during this time, 1917. So that's why, or I can say like this: US policy towards Middle East is anti-Iranian policy. US policy towards Middle East is anti-Iranian policy. So in that circumstances, why US should help Iran? Why US should help Iran? Except US, if any country, any other country wanted to help Iran, US will never allow. Except US itself take the initiative. Finally, the Obama administration opened negotiation with Iran and helped Iran to come out of the trouble. Despite the pressure given by whom? Saudi Arabia and Israel, who are close friends of US. The close friend of US, Israel is telling, don't help Iran, don't help Iran. Saudi is telling, do whatever you, I am ready to do anything, but don't help my enemy to come up. Enemy is going to die, don't go and give oxygen to my enemy. And again, revive him back. But despite all this pressure, Obama administration, that means US, defying the 3-4 decades relationship with Iran, they helped Iran. Now the point is, we have to find out what is the why US helped Iran. Okay. So if you so what we'll do is go to the next. Okay, so this is Iran. So Iran was about to die. Iran got rescued by US by allowing Iran to sign the JCPOA. So Iran said that I will not touch nuclear weapon, but in return, I will not go for all the economic sanction against Iran should be lifted. So problems. US helped Iran. What may be the reason? Means one reason number one I am telling. So in this territory, who is that in this territory? ISIS. And who was one of the reason behind this formation of ISIS? It is US one. Okay, so because Iraq under Saddam Hussein, see Saddam Hussein was a dictator, he is going against his own people. So leave it, that is their internal matter. But whatever problem was there within Iraq, that problem did not come out. The problem was not come out. Yes, your answers are correct. See, the problem did not come out. He did not allow the problem to come out. Okay, so now US forcefully removed the Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein and installed a weak democratic government there in Iraq. As a result of that only, this ISIS have now become popular. So US did something and ISIS become popular. And US withdrawn from Iraq in 2011 itself. Until US army was there in Iraq, this ISIS was not at all a big organization. It was just a small group of people. Nobody expected this ISIS will become a big organization. When US left Iraq, ISIS became popular. Because the US army is not there in Iraq. Because why US army left Iraq? Already I have said. No benefit from that particular war. People are dying. So Obama withdrew from US army from Iraq. When US army is no more in Iraq, all the small militant groups become terrorist organizations. So we can say like this: ISIS is created because of the US mischief in Iraq. See, who gave the right to US to go and intervene in Iraq politics? How can we send an army to another country overthrow a regime openly? See, secretly every country is doing it. That I accept. Openly I am sending an army because they simply put a blame on Saddam Hussein that Saddam Hussein is developing weapon of mass destruction, the nuclear bomb. So testing nuclear bomb is not allowed. That's why. That's why US said that no, we should not allow Saddam Hussein. By the time US was the most powerful country in 2003, after the September 11 attack. So US came to Iraq and eliminated the strong leader in Iraq, and they left away, leading and paving a way for the terrorist organization ISIS to become very popular. But the problem is now US again cannot send its army to Iraq to eliminate this ISIS. You want to eliminate ISIS means you have to send all your army back and fight against ISIS. This is a wasteful one. So that's why US is looking for some partner to eliminate this ISIS. So when US calculated all these things, when US finally found that who is the arch enemy of ISIS? It is Iran. Because what is ISIS ultimate objective? To forcibly convert all the Shia people into Sunni Muslims. And then if they are not ready, means kill the Sunni Shia people. And they wanted to create a worldwide Sunni-based Islamic caliphate. So this is ISIS ultimate objective. So that means ISIS wanted to overthrow the Shia-based Syrian government. ISIS wanted to overthrow the Shia-based Iraqi government. And who is the protector of the Shias in this region, in the world itself? It is Iran. So ISIS and Iran are arch enemies. So US thought that it is not good to send back US army to fight against ISIS. US did not expect these things and all. Okay, so that's why US thought that if we are changing our policy towards it, already we know US policy towards Iran is anti-Iranian policy. So if we change that policy and if we open relationship with Iran, then Iran, with or without the support of Iran, Iran is going to eliminate this ISIS. No doubt in that. So US thought that, oh, why can't we support Iran? What is the problem with that? I don't have any direct problem with Iran now. I have an enemy that they are spoiling US name there in that particular territory. So let's help Iran and then eliminate these people. So this is US number one calculation. The US did not reveal this outside. This is the analysis. Okay. And two, in AFPAC region also, you have to note that this region, you have to note that terrorist groups are there. Al Qaeda, all the remains of. By the time Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden was not eliminated. After that, only they eliminated. So, and these are all Sunni Muslim based terrorist groups. And they also doesn't like Iran because of the religious difference. Both are Islam community only. Iran is a Shia. Afghanistan, the AFPAC, Taliban, including Taliban, Anthony. Taliban, Al Qaeda, everyone who are there in this territory, AFPAC terrorist group, they are all enemies of it. And US also now wanted to quit Afghanistan. So now US is trying very hard now. Okay, so that we will discuss while we discuss Afghanistan. So how to fight against this terrorist group? Again, US thought that if we have friendship with Iran, means we can solve this problem also. So if Iran and US became friends, means, or at least no problem, means Iran, it will give a free hand for Iran to fight against the AFPAC, Syria, Iraq, this terrorist group, and also AFPAC terrorist group. And the third reason is, this is Caspian Sea. In and around the Caspian Sea, lot of hydrocarbons are there. So the countries Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, the Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is a close ally of Iran. Okay, so these countries these are Central Asian countries. The Central Asian countries have lot of oil. Even during the Cold War period, that means before 1990 era, the people used to comment like this: there is a great game. You just note this word, great game. There is a great game going on in Central Asia. Okay, so in Caspian Sea is full of oil. Under Caspian Sea, full of oil gas is there. So if anybody dominates this territory, I mean, they'll get all the oil and gas. So Russia doesn't want this gas to go under the influence of US. So Russia is against this. Even after the disintegration of Soviet Union, Russia dominates this territory. But Iran is having good influence over these countries, cultural influence because of the Shia. In Turkmenistan, some Shia people are there in this region. Azerbaijan already a Shia country. So if Iran comes to US side, then using Iran's influence, what US can do? US can go for. Map is not clear, see, because of the scribbling. Okay. Is map visible for all the people? See, Stuckman, that is on your side. What I'm asking is map visible? Yes. Yes, thank you. See, all the answers are after this discussion. Okay. So the point is, for these three reasons, US helped Iran to come out of the. US helped to come out of the. Okay. So reason number one, to solve the Syria-Iraq this terrorist problem, Iran may be helped. To solve the Afpak terrorist problem also, Iran may be helped. To extend the influence of US in this territory, if Iran becomes a friend of US, then US can win the great game. So now great game is over because Cold War is over. But now after the Cold War, that is after 1990, now they are using a new term called a new great game. See, during Cold War, that for the domination of the Caspian Sea, two countries were fighting with each other. So already the entire area is under the influence of USSR only before 1990. But US want a place here. So because now only other type of technologies are there. Earlier, oil-based, that means carbon-based technology only is there. Okay. So a great game was going on. Now a new great game is going on. In new great game, more countries are interested in the oil and gas in Caspian Sea. One, obviously, US. Two, Russia. Russia doesn't need oil and gas, but Russia doesn't want this oil and gas to go under the influence of foreign country. Okay. And the third country who is interested in accessing this Caspian Sea oil and gas is China. Because China needs oil and gas. Okay. And the fourth country who is who want hey, after the class you ask all these things. Everything got messed up means you have to listen. See, paper is not the place to write. You have to write everything in your mind. You have to carefully listen. Okay. So I already said during the class, again we will revisit. By the time I will give you the transcripts. Okay. And just what I'm doing is regarding West Asia. Now you can easily read newspaper. For that only I'm doing it. Okay. So so Iran can be useful to US. What we are discussing, I completely forgot. New grade game. Yes, the new grade game. See, don't interrupt the class. Okay. So again, I'm telling. In the new grade game, 4 countries are interested. One is US as usual. Now Russia in the who has replaced the USSR. The third country is China. Fourth country is India. India also need oil and gas. We wanted to access Central Asia, but we are not doing anything aggressively there. But we want access because India is a rapidly developing country. We need oil and gas for fueling our engines, industries, automobiles, etc. We also have a. But with respect to Russia, what Russia wants is Russia doesn't need this the Turkmenistan, this Kazakhstan soil. But Russia doesn't want this oil to go under the influence of US. Number one. And number two, Russia also doesn't want this oil to go under the influence of China. Because China in the long run is a competitor to US. If this oil goes to India, means Russia will be happy. So in this, so this is called Connect Central Asia. India is having an initiative called Connect Central Asia Initiative to connect Caspian Sea. So in that, Russia and India have understanding. So for this, we need Russia. Okay. So this is why US helped Iran to come out of that. So again, I'm telling why US might have helped Iran. 3 reasons. Reason number 1, to solve the ISIS using Iran, and to solve the Afpak terrorist group using Iran, and to influence the in and around Caspian Sea, because Iran is having cultural influence. Shia people are there all over the borders of Caspian Sea. So automatically, Iran can be useful to US to establish its US foothold in Caspian Sea. So Russia's influence in that region will go down. But do you think that Iran will rely on US by cutting off its relationship with Russia? No. Iran and Russia traditionally they are very, very long friends. Okay, but anyway, these are all US calculation. And not only that, see, just to see how this Iran is located. It is located in a prime position. Okay. So the point is, if you can access Iran, means you can access all these countries. It has borders with almost all the countries. Okay, so Iran is a very influential country which is located in a strategic position. So if you want to fight all the terrorist groups, this area, everywhere terrorist groups are there in and around Iran. Iran can be the best bet. If you want to eliminate the terrorist groups in the Middle East, means we have to believe in Iran. But Iran is supporting one terrorist group called Hezbollah. Otherwise, other 99% of the terrorist groups, you have to note that Iran is the single most target for other terrorists. But there is no big terrorist activity is there inside Iran, because Iran is a very strong country. It will not allow this the Afghan terrorist group, Al Qaeda, Nusra Front, Islamic State into Iran. It will take very strong action. So that's why if US want a real partner against fighting terrorism, that will be Iran. Okay. See, actually, we are taking too much time. I think it will take one more class to complete West Asia. It is taking more than double the time. Okay. So anyway, we'll stop here. Okay. So, regarding Iran, we have to discuss further. Okay. So now in 2015, US went friendly with Iran. Now US is going against Iran. Trump administration is going against Iran. So what is the reason? Those things we will discuss in the next class. Okay. So now I will answer the question. You can put your questions now. Okay. Yes, Kashmir Raja.
Yeah, hi sir. My question
yes.
is regarding the Kurdish.
Wait 1 minute. Your voice is too much loud. It is harming my ear. Okay.
Sir, no sir. No, it's okay, sir.
Little better. Okay. Yes.
Sir, my doubt is regarding the Kurdish people, sir.
Kurdish, yes. Kurdish.
Since Kurdish people is also Sunni Muslim people, sir. Yes. Why can't the moderate rebels support these people, sir, instead of opposing them?
These people are Arabis.
The moderate
non-Arab. Moderate rebels, they are Sunni Muslim. That means you are telling the Syrian moderate rebels. They are Sunni Arab people. Kurdish is not non-Arab. So the two different communities. Can you understand?
Okay. Yes.
Supriyo. Yes.
Sir, can you hear me?
Hear me. Don't speak very loudly.
Yeah, can you hear me now, sir?
I can hear you speak loudly.
Should I increase my voice or decrease my voice? I can't hear
Decrease your voice, please.
Okay. Is it okay?
Okay, please.
Okay. The question is that, sir, you just told me that told us that US is trying to increase the influence, for increasing its influence in the Caspian Sea. So US has lifted the sanctions and signed that JCPOA, right?
Yes.
So now, sir, my question is that in Caspian Sea, in and around Caspian Sea, there is a state Azerbaijan and various other states. So, sir, Iran is having a Shia majority population, right, sir?
So Shia and the people who are in and around Caspian Sea, they are Shia people. So using Iran, we can achieve something. We can access that particular area.
Okay, sir, means just as you explained in the Mediterranean part, that having a strong hold over Mediterranean Sea is meaning that country is a superpower, right, sir?
See, that is a theory. Theory means yes.
So this means that having a foothold over the Caspian Sea was also a kind of same scenario is there.
Same scenario only. See, this is a bone of contention between Russia and the US for a very long time. Because oil is there for economy. Mediterranean Sea for economy and military. Caspian Sea only for economy, oil.
Okay, means oil reserves are much in Caspian Sea, right, sir?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, and in Mediterranean Sea, both oil and military strategy.
Not oil. Mediterranean Sea, no oil is there. But trade and military. See, that is a junction, roundabout. Okay, junction. Junction means 3-4 roads confluence in one area means that area is a busy marketplace. So you can access that particular place means you can trade, can have trade like that.
Okay, so that Caspian Sea is a bone of contention for both Russia and US for a long time. So
yes, that contention continues. That's all.
Okay, and for US has just made its own way through this agreement by lifting the ban on Iran so that it can access the Caspian Sea.
Yes. Yes. See, that may be one particular idea of US. This is the understanding. Yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Nikshiti.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Vimal. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes, Vimal.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding two terms, sir: military sanction and civil nuclear technology, sir.
Military sanction on civil nuclear technology, that did not take place. Military sanctions means waging war against that particular country. That means all the country army have to invade it. Earlier in 1990, that kind of sanction was put on Iraq when Iraq tried to invade Kuwait.
Okay, sir. Civil nuclear technology means, sir?
Civil nuclear technology means that means they are going for nuclear weapon, trying to test nuclear weapon. So
it is allowed in Iran, right, sir?
See, Iran, inside Iran, they can do anything, but world countries will not approve that. Because Iran has signed NPTT, so you can't go for nuclear weapon. But Iran was trying to go for that. That is why all the countries put economic sanction, not military sanction. Military sanction is war. Economic sanction means trade.
Okay, so next doubt is how Russia is supporting Kurdish people, sir?
In terms of diplomacy.
Because
means if any people are sometimes Turkey was killing Kurdish population. If issue is raised in UN, means Russia will support that. Okay, sir.
Why can't India buy oil from other countries, sir, instead of depending on Iran for 1/3 of its oil resources?
See, the point is Iran is very near to you.
Okay, sir.
Very near, easy to access. Nobody can stop India, Iran having communication because only Arabian Sea is there. It is a open sea. But if you wanted to go to Caspian Sea, means a lot of problems are there. That we'll discuss in the next class.
Okay, so one doubt, sir, regarding that what would have happened if Iran is almost died? If that
means Iran will surrender finally.
What happens if JCPOA doesn't happen?
JCPOA in 2015 it is not signed, means Iran will completely collapse.
And for whom it is beneficial, sir? For Russia?
Benefit means Saudi, Israel will get benefits. In Iran also revolution will be there. People will go against the government. Revolution.
So it will be very beneficial for Russia or US, sir, two superpowers.
Iran and Russia are friends. If Iran goes down, means it is going to harm whom? Russia or US?
Russia, sir.
Obviously, then what is the question? Okay, US will benefit, Russia will lose a friend.
So then why America is involving in the Iran's revival of life, sir, instead of...
That's what I said. So if Iran is a friend of US, then
they can target terrorist groups, right?
Because terrorist, yes, that's it. Let me answer. See, US only created this ISIS problem, NAFPAC problem. So these terroristic people are also enemies of Iran. Let us use Iran to fight these people. This is the understanding.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, audible. Yes.
Sir, actually, moderate rebels are supported by US, right, sir?
US is calling them as moderate rebels. For us,
sir.
They are rebels only.
Okay, so like when US is supporting Kurds, why can't moderate rebels also support, sir? Like because US is supporting moderate rebels.
Yes. See the point of what you are asking is, US is supporting moderate rebels on one side. That is the rebel army, Free Syrian Army.
Sir.
US is also having good relation with the Kurdish.
Yes,
then
sir.
Kurdish people and moderate rebels are fighting with each other. This is your question.
Yes, sir.
Because they doesn't like each other, they belong to different time.
Okay, sir.
So doesn't have permanent friends. It is working only for its own benefit.
Okay, sir.
See, two of our friends, they are fighting with each other.
Okay, sir.
This is the understanding. You will support both the friends. When they are fighting with each other, you will not involve. So that is the understanding.
Okay, sir. So one more question, sir. What is the problem between Turkey and India, sir?
Turkey is a sympathizer of Pakistan just because of the sake that both are Sunni Muslim countries. Islamic
Okay.
relation. Just for the single reason, Turkey always support India. But note that when Ottoman Empire was disintegrated, the entire India, you have to refer this Khilafat movement. Khilafat movement, Gandhi supported, we people supported because the Turkey was over, Turkey ruler was over. But the Turkey is not, that means it should remain neutral, no? But it is supporting Pakistan because of the religious connection. That's all.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise,
Sir,
Turkey and India doesn't have any direct issue.
okay, sir.
Pakistan is our arch enemy. Our arch enemy's close ally is Turkey.
Okay,
So
sir.
this makes Turkey a problematic country for India. But we don't have direct confrontation.
Okay, sir. Sir, and Iran signed NPT, no, sir? Like, if they
Yes.
wish, can they cancel it, sir? Like, that is not possible.
Okay, very good question. Okay, very, very good question. So you are observing the class. Okay. So this is a very, very important question. You should know. See, so what that means I am telling to all students. The point is, see, Iran's biggest mistake was it defied the international agreement. That's why the entire world countries they put economic sanction against Iran through United Nations. Okay. But the important point here is, if Iran openly says that, that means openly says that no, see, this is what Korea have done, North Korea. North Korea was a party to NPT. Later, in 1992, the North Korea said that I am no more a party to NPT. I am going to test nuclear weapon, and they test nuclear weapon. But in case of India, openly in the first day itself, we said that I will test nuclear weapon. It is my right. Like that, if Iran openly says that no, I am coming out of NPT. Like that, if it gives a statement, means the immediate understanding is Iran is going for a nuclear weapon openly. Immediately, preemptively, who will strike Iran?
Saudi and other countries.
Saudi is not a, it is a cultural power.
Okay.
Saudi will wage war, but Saudi doesn't have nuclear weapon, no? Who is having nuclear weapon in that region?
Israel.
Israel will strike Iran with the support of US.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so Iran, what Iran's position is, secretly we should test nuclear weapon and then come out. Openly, I am giving a promise to the world that I will not test nuclear weapon by signing NPT. So tomorrow I am taking a decision, morning. No, I am not party to NPT, I am coming out. Means what is the understanding? I am going to test. All my enemies immediately they will attack. So to avoid that only, Iran did not openly came out of. But North Korea was able to do that. But Iran was not in a position because Iran has so much enemies in the world than any other country in the world. A very good question. Very good question. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Srivatsan.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
Sir, I have two questions, sir.
Yes.
First is regarding, you said that the Turkey supports the Syrian Kurds while Syria supports Turkish Kurds. So,
Yes.
if this rebel party support the opposite country's Kurds, means it can be seen as a deliberate attempt to prevent the unification of Kurdish population. Could that be inferred like that, sir?
No, Kurdish is not a problem, but their country's Kurdish is the problem.
No, sir. I'm asking if Turkey supports
See,
Syrian.
this is ultimately that is why Kurdistan is not at all a reality.
And another question is regarding the nuclear non-proliferation treaty which Iran signed. You said that in the first class, India signs and ratifies. So in case of Iran, this ratification
Was that they ratified it?
Oh, okay, sir. That's all.
They are party means they accepted everything and later defied. That's why it was economic sanction was put on Iran.
So if party signs but not yet ratifies, means if Iran does
that is not an issue. That is not an issue. Okay, legally
okay,
no one can take sanctions.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ratify that means legally you are bound to that.
That's all. Thank you, sir.
Pavitran?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Ji. You said that at 2015 there was an agreement signed, Joint Comprehensive Action Plan, so that it is signed between Iran and world countries to lift the sanctions. apart from that, apart from that, is there any specific US-Iran nuclear treaty, something like that?
Specific US-Iran nuclear treaty is not there.
Then what in
That
recent
we will
times
discuss
came
tomorrow.
in,
See, that we have not discussed. That is the next slide. Today time is up.
okay.
Next class we will start with that. Now US and Iran they have some problem, no?
Yeah.
Next we have to discuss that. So I'm stopping in 2015 level.
Then one more question is there.
Yes.
You said that in that Caspian Sea area, China is also having interest.
And China is having, yes.
What step is China taking in order to get the oil and gas?
See, China is now building one belt, one road, Belt and Road Initiative. Do you know that?
Yeah.
So it is coming across that region.
That program is the important thing is for this putting this oil.
The thing is, in the neighboring village, you wanted to buy one particular product. You are putting a road to the neighboring village. What is the meaning of this? So to access that particular product only, you are putting the road. Can you understand?
Yeah.
So we have to discuss the Belt and Road Initiative in China class. Next, after West Asia, we will discuss China. Yes.
Okay, sure. Thanks. Thank you.
Varsha? Yes?
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Sir, can you explain me about single
proportional representation?
Yes, sir.
Why can't you just give me a message in Telegram? Okay, so I'll answer other questions in today's discussion.
Okay, sir.
Either you wait until other people ask question about this, or you just message me in Telegram.
Okay, sir.
Any doubt regarding today's discussion?
No, sir.
Hello.
Yes, Akshay.
Hello, sir. What is the definition of NPTT?
Nuclear non-proliferation treaty.
Nuclear?
Non-proliferation. Proliferation. Proliferation means spreading. No country should test
treaty.
Nuclear non-proliferation treaty. Treaty says that nobody should test a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, sir. Another question is.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, sir. Another question is, what is Article 55? India. Hello.
That is associated with the president. I don't know exactly what is Article 55. It is associated with the president of India.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear. See, Article
55 sir, what is the function of?
Function of?
51. Function of IAEA.
IAEA, see, you are asking unrelated things. IAEA is an international organization which ensures that no country will test a nuclear weapon. Other countries are nuclear installations, no? That is for producing electricity. So IAEA will come and check that in that particular installation they are using it only for peaceful purpose. No country use nuclear technology for military purpose. For that only IAEA is there. You are asking about Article 51. Article 51 it comes under DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy in Indian Constitution. It is for promoting international peace. So India promote international peace. For that only Article 51 is there. In first day class, I have shown that in the slide.
Okay, sir. Another question is, what are the countries in E3 plus 3? Which are the countries in E3 plus 3?
P5 plus 1, E3 plus 3, both are same one. P5 means the permanent 5 members plus Germany. E3 means the European 3 plus 3. Who are the European 3 in the plus 1? Germany, France, England. Other 3 is Russia, China, and US. E3 plus 3. Both are same only.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Manisha?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Manisha, yes.
Sir, what is meant by simple majority and special majority in parliament, sir?
Can you wait till the end of the class? Okay, I will answer questions which is related to today's discussion and then I will come back. Okay, 1 minute.
Okay, sir. Sir, what is your Telegram ID, sir?
80151
51
35359.
35359. Thank you, sir.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, Deepika, yes.
I have doubt regarding NPT, sir.
NPT, yes.
You said in 1990s North Korea came out of that.
Yes.
Did US put any sanctions?
Yes. North Korea is under sanction. North Korea doesn't have any connection with any of the country in the world except with China.
So that doesn't affect North Korea or any other countries?
North Korea doesn't have any relation with any country except with China. Secretly, they are having. North Korea have access to China's black market. China is the world biggest trader. So this is the understanding.
Israel is also part of that NPT, sir.
Israel? No, Israel is not a part. India, Israel, Pakistan are not part of NPT.
They signed, but they didn't ratify that.
No, they are not party. Means they legally they are not bound to that. That simple.
Thank you, sir.
Vignesh.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, sir, can you explain about India's involvement in Syrian war, sir? Syria war.
India, no involvement is there.
Sir, but I read about BRICS. Through BRICS, India supported Assad regime like that.
See, we supported means now from Chennai I am telling I support Bashar al-Assad. That's all. But I am not physically doing anything. Okay, India is not doing anything in Syria except we accept with the BRICS countries. That's all. BRICS country, Russia, China. The Russia, China are friends of Syria. So we are also having similar idea. That's all. In terms of idea, but we are not doing anything concretely with respect to Syria.
Okay, sir. And my another question regarding the cultural aspects from Syria to India relations, sir.
Cultural aspect of Syria.
Yes, sir. Cultural aspects, sir.
Cultural aspect means in what sense?
There are some the first Christians in Kerala came from Syria. Like that,
See, that is very old. Okay, in the First Testament in Bible, when Moses rescued all the people, slaves from the Egyptian Pharaoh, crossed the Red Sea, and the Jewish people, majority Jewish people were there. Along with the Jewish people, the Levantines were also there. So they are associated with Christianity and Jewish community. So what is the connection? Nothing much to discuss regarding it.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, can you tell about which year the UN put sanction over Iran? Economic sanction. Which year?
2005 to 8 during that period. Just to check it. Okay. So okay. It is not a single day. Periodically, slowly, like that, they will do it.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, I have a doubt. Like you told that UNSC. Okay, sorry, sir. Sir, and the UNSC வந்து
நல்ல மெதுவா இந்த மைக் ஏத்தி வச்சு பேசுங்க சாதாரணமா.
ஓகே. UNSC வந்து யாரெல்லாம் NNPT வந்து சைன் பண்ணலையோ ஆர் லீகலி கவர்ன் பண்ணலையோ
NPT தான் அது NNPT ன்னு சொல்றாங்க.
சாரி. ஓகே சார். NPT அது வந்து நம்ம சைன் பண்ணல இல்ல ரatiஃபை பண்ணல அப்படினாலே UNSC வந்து எகனாமிக் சாங்க்ஷன் போடுமா சார்? அந்த மாதிரியா
இல்ல see ஒரு ஒப்பந்தம் போது ட்ரீட்டி சைன் பண்றீங்க, சைன் பண்றதும் பண்ணாததும் நம்ம இஷ்டம். அதெல்லாம் யாரும் சைன் பண்றது கேட்க முடியாது. ஆனா சைன் பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கு மாறி நடந்தீங்கன்னா மாட்டிக்குவீங்க. அதுதான் பிரச்சனை. புரியுதுங்களா? இந்தியாவும் நியூக்ளியர் வெப்பன் கண்ட்ரி, ஈரானும் நியூக்ளியர் வெப்பன் தயாரிக்கிறதுக்கு எல்லாமே they are ready for doing that. So in that circumstances, what is the difference between Iran and India? Is India, when people ask us to sign the deal, we said that I am going to test weapon, I am not going to sign it. So நம்ம வந்து யாருக்கும் ப்ராமிஸ்லாம் எதுவுமே பண்ணல. ஆனா ஈரான் வந்து நல்ல பிள்ளை மாதிரி சைன் பண்ணிட்டு அவன் சீக்ரெட்டா நியூக்ளியர் டெவலப்மெண்ட் பண்ணிட்டு, அது வந்து இஷ்யூ.
ஓகே சார்.
நீங்க மாத்துற, நீங்க எனக்கு வந்து கான்ட்ராக்ட் போட்டாச்சு, அப்புறம் எப்படி நீ மாத்தலாம்னு புடிச்சுட்டோம். நீ கான்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணும்போது என்னால முடியாது, எனக்கு சைன் பண்ண முடியாது, நான் உங்கள்கிட்ட கேட்கிறேன், நீ சொல்றீங்க என்னால பண்ண முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டீங்கன்னா அப்புறம் உங்களை எப்படி ரெஸ்பான்சிபிள் ஆக முடியும்? இப்போ நான் எல்லாருக்கும் முன்னாடி நான் செய்யறேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஐ ஹேவ் சைன்ட் a deal, இன்டர்நேஷனல் அக்ரிமெண்ட். அப்போ வந்து நான் அதை நான் பிரீச் பண்ணேன்னா இன்டர்நேஷனல் கம்யூனிட்டி ஆக்ஷன் எடுக்குது. ஓகே, என்பிடி சைன் பண்ணாததுனால பிரச்சனை வராது, பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கு எதிராக பண்ணோம்னா பிரச்சனை வரும். எந்த ட்ரீட்டியுமே சைன் பண்ணாதது நம்மளோட ரைட்டு, ஒத்துக்கிறது நம்மளோட ரைட்டு. ஆனா ஒத்துக்கிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் அதை மீறி நடக்கவே கூடாது.
ஓகே சார். இப்போ நார்த் கொரியா வந்து அது சைன் பண்ணுச்சா சார் இல்லையா?
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சைன் பண்ணிட்டு 1990s நான் அது இனிமே கிடையாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அது ஃபார்முலா இருந்துச்சு.
ஓகே சார்.
ஆனா அது மாதிரி ஈரான் பண்ண முடியாது. ஈரான் அது மாதிரி பண்ணுச்சுன்னா நியூக்ளியர் பாம்பு தயாரிக்க போறான்னு தெரிஞ்சோடனே இஸ்ரேல் அட்டாக் பண்ணிடும். ஏன்னா ஈரான் நியூக்ளியர் வெப்பன் வந்துச்சுன்னா ஹெசிபுல்லா will put it on Syria, Israel. So Israel preemptively do it. It will attract next world war, or that will be a nuclear. அதனால ஈரான் சீக்ரெட்டாவே ஒண்ணுமே சொல்லாம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரெடி பண்ணிட்டு இருந்துச்சு. அதுக்குள்ள அதை போய் பிடிச்சிட்டாங்க. ஏன்னா இஸ்ரேல் ஸ்பை சேட்டலைட்லாம் விட்டு பயங்கரமா அதை கண்காணிச்சு எப்படியோ அதை வந்து.
ஓகே சார். இன்னொரு டவுட் சார், அந்த வென் டயக்ராம் எக்ஸசைஸ்க்கு சொல்லியிருந்தீங்கல்ல சார், இந்தியாவோட இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் வந்து நம் சோர்ஸ் ஏதாவது பார்த்து இது பண்றதா சார்? இல்ல
வெஸ்ட் ஏஷியால நான் சொன்னல இதே கீவேர்ட்ஸ் வச்சுக்கிட்டு வெஸ்ட் ஏஷியால இந்தியாவுக்கு என்னெல்லாம் வேணும் வேணாம்னு நம்ம நீங்க என்ன நினைச்சீங்க, உங்களுக்கு என்னெல்லாம் அங்க வேணும் வேணாம்னு சொல்லிட்டு நீங்க ஒன்று பண்ணுங்க, சிம்பிளா பண்ணலாமே.
ஓகே சார்.
எதெல்லாம் சரியா வரும் எதெல்லாம் சரியா வராதுன்னு சொல்லுங்க.
ஓகே சார். அது அந்த டயக்ராம் போட்டுட்டு உங்களுக்கு டெலிகிராம்ல அனுப்பலாமா சார்? இல்ல நீங்க
டெலிகிராம்ல அனுப்புங்க. டெலிகிராம்ல அனுப்புங்க, நான் ஏதாவது கமெண்ட் பண்றேன்.
ஓகே சார். ஓகே, थैंक यू சார். थैंक यू சார். थैंक यू.
Yes, Swati.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon. Yes.
Sir, the last topic, where did you stop, sir, today? Because no power, sir, so I will not listen today, sir.
Last topic, today's topic.
Yes, sir.
Today I stopped with Iran coming out of the trouble. Okay.
Sir, I listened up to the map, sir. Now the map is displaying no, up to there I listened. When you started the explanation of map, power gone, sir. Yes, sir.
After this, you did not listen.
Yes, sir.
After that, actually, we have discussed a lot. But anyway, next class again, I will summarize this, and then only I will go to the next. Just what you do is you contact the people there, and ask for a video. Okay, tell them our failure of that to give me the video. Because they are recording it, they will give you.
Okay, sir. This class video will be posted on main law, sir.
Class.
This video will be posted on main law, sir.
No. Video will not be posted. You have to ask and then get it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Just ask them. Ask the coordinators. So due to power failure, I am not able to view the videos, attend the class. So please send me the video. Like that, you just ask them.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
They may send it. Okay.
Sir, can you explain brief, sir, just what is what that?
See, I was discussing Iran. You have to note that Iran and US doesn't have a good relationship.
Yes, sir.
US only, actually, when Iran and US were friends, because US only introduced nuclear technology to Iran.
Okay, sir.
But what happened is later the Iranian president, what he did is he tried to nationalize the oil resources. So Western country will not get any kind of benefits if oil become nationalized. That's why they overthrown the Iranian leader and installed a puppet there.
Okay, sir.
So using the puppet, again they exploited oil from Iran. But that came to an end during Iranian Revolution. The people of Iran overthrew that particular puppet and made Iran an Islamic republic. So since that day, US and Iran are enemies.
Okay, sir.
Again, now Iran has become an Islamic republic, Shia country.
Sir.
As a part of this, Iran signed the NPT treaty, but later, what Iran did is Iran went for a nuclear weapon. So this attracted international sanctions on Iran.
Okay,
So obviously, what happened is Iran was about to collapse, but in 2015, a deal called JCPOA deal. In 2015, Iran nuclear deal was signed. According to that, Iran, all the economic sanctions against Iran were lifted. Iran is allowed to do civil nuclear technology, but Iran cannot go for weapons. Okay, so this helped Iran to come out of this trouble because US thought that Iran will be very, very helpful in eliminating the ISIS, AFPAC terrorist people, and US also can access Caspian Sea with the help of Iran. So up to this, we have discussed.
Okay. So up to this, I listened, sir, but the map discussion you did know, sir, about the Afghan and
see, AFPAC terrorist people are there. AFPAC terrorist people and Iran, they doesn't like each other. US also doesn't like AFPAC terrorist people. So,
okay, sir.
With help of Iran, we can fight AFPAC terrorists. This is what US might have done.
Okay, sir.
Like that, ISIS is also a problem for US. And Iran and ISIS doesn't like each other. So let's Iran to fight against ISIS. And again, let's use Iran to have influence over Caspian Sea. Because Iran is culturally very influential over that particular region. So these are all the reasons.
Sir, for getting this video, to whom should I ask, sir?
So who is sending you the schedule?
Jai Shruti ma'am is sending.
She just contact her. She will do the.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Pooja.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So, if a treaty is signed by a country and then ratified, and then that country is saying that no, I'm not a part of this treaty, then economic sanctions will not be there.
No. We have a policy. See, we have a policy. Every country have their own policy. You may say that the policy which was taken by the previous government by another party in 19 is not good. Now this is not going according to our idea today. Like that, you can come out. It is up to us.
Okay.
But Iran, the problem with Iran is, it was telling that I will not touch nuclear weapon. It was maintaining that particular stand. But what happened is later it was secretly doing something.
Okay, sir.
Not acceptable. Okay.
Okay, sir.
See, I am giving you a promise that I am going to do this particular thing. So you are believing me that they say Sir will help me like that. But I am not helping when you need it, means then it is wrong. But later next day I am telling that no, I am not in a position to help today. So you have to look after yourself. I have communicated this with you. After that, you will not be expecting me that particular help. Okay, so like that, you can come out. After that, the country will say that that day I sent, and I also said that I will not do it. Then why are you expecting me? Like that, you can that particular country can argue.
Okay, so that is what North Korea did.
That is what North Korea did. But that depends upon the type of agreement. And who are all the other parties? Suppose with the US you are signing, and tomorrow you are going and US will come to fight. But this is international community, no? So every country have their own interest. So you can defend in United Nations. So
okay, sir.
The contract coming out of the contract depends upon who is the other party. That is also a problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yes.
So, thank you.
Yes, Spandana.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
So my doubt is regarding the new grade game in Caspian Sea. So
Okay.
I'm not able to understand why Russia is not. Russia is against China's access to Caspian Sea. Like their common enemy is, so they can.
They may have a common enemy, but tomorrow who is going to be an enemy of Russia or China? See, tomorrow China becomes #1 country. Do you think that Russia will listen to China? Russia is also a superpower.
So Russia wants to eliminate all other countries in Asia as well.
Every country, see, India also wanted to become #1. Every country.
Why is it helping India then?
See, India. See, the point is, India is not going to challenge Russia in any time in the near future, because Russia know very well that 80% of our total equipments are Russian equipments. So we are at the mercy of Russia, and we are friend of Russia. Where the point is, there should be some kind of issue, no, where both the countries will take opposite stand.
Okay.
India, Russia doesn't see in the history of India and Russia, both the countries not even went against each other, at least in principle against each other. Okay. So even if Russia is doing something, India will simply remain silent. India never voted anything against Russia.
Russia, okay.
So we are friends, close friends. Close friends means even see, for example, you have a friend, very close friend, but that particular girl is doing something bad. As a friend, what you will do? You will not reveal this outside because you are a friend of her. Can you understand? Okay. Friends means we try to protect our friend. We are not able to protect means we will not harm the friend. That is the understanding.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Shivam.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what is the benefit of signing NPT, sir? If there is any economic benefit or military support given by
no benefit is there. If you sign there is every country is going for a nuclear arms race.
Yes, sir.
So they are asking India to come and sign. Means all the opposition party will come and sign. So world will be free of nuclear technology. That means nuclear weapons. That's the idea. But India said that already you have accepted China as a nuclear power. China can retain nuclear weapon. Means then I will go for nuclear weapon. So saying this only, India openly went against the treaty and we did not sign that treaty.
So there is no benefit. That's all, sir.
Benefit is, see, the thing is, we are having an agreement that nobody should carry guns to the classroom. Means it is going to benefit everyone.
Yes, sir. But the top 5 countries are having the nuclear power, sir. If the small country is not having the nuclear power, we are threatened from that of top 5 countries, sir.
That's why India did not sign the treaty. So you that see, world country recognized 5 countries. Among the 5 recognized country, India pointed out China that China is a nuclear weapon country. He is my enemy. Then I have to go for nuclear weapon. That's why we did not sign.
Rather, sir, if there is any intention for Iran for signing that treaty, sir.
See, by the time Iran, the Ayatollah Khomeini, I have explained this. No, according to religious understanding, the nuclear technology should be banned. So they banned it.
Okay, sir.
After 1989, Iran did not go for nuclear weapon.
Okay, sir.
Banned it. No, he was the leader. He is a religious guy. He banned it. But 1989, after that, Iran thought that we should have nuclear weapon, and they were secretly developing nuclear weapon.
Okay, sir. Because of Islamic law, they signed the treaty.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, how the country having a nuclear power, sir? India is not recognized as a nuclear power.
From China, it leaked to Pakistan. From Pakistan, it leaked to Iran.
What, sir?
From China, the nuclear technology leaked to Pakistan. From Pakistan, through black market, it went to Iran.
Okay, sir. Sir, India வந்து எக்ஸ் ரெகனைஸ் பண்ண மாட்டேங்கறாங்க. எப்படி அத வந்து ஒரு நியூக்ளியர் கண்ட்ரியா ரெகனைஸ் பண்றாங்க, சார்?
இல்ல, அவங்க 5 பேரும் ஏற்கனவே பவர்ஃபுல் பீப்புள். இப்ப ரெகனைஸ் பண்ணா அந்த 5 பேரும் ஒத்துக்கிட்டா நம்ம ரெகனைஸ் ஆயிடுவோம். அதுல சைனா இருந்து நம்மள ஒத்துக்க மாட்டேங்குது. அதான்.
அந்த 5 பேரும் ஒத்துக்கிட்டா அந்த கண்ட்ரி வந்து அவங்களாவே
யுனைட்டட் நேஷன் ரெகனைஸ் பண்ணனும். யுனைட்டட் நேஷன் ரெசல்யூஷன் எல்லாமே வந்து UNSC முடிவு பண்றதா. UNSC ல 5 பேர் கையில வீட்டோ பவர் இருக்கு. என்ன முடிவு எடுத்தாலும் ஒருத்தன் வீட்டை போட்டு நம்மள உள்ள விட மாட்டான்.
அப்படி நியூக்ளியர் பவர் நம்ம கொடுத்தா நம்ம வந்து மிலிட்டரிக்காகவும் நியூக்ளியர் யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். அப்படி அர்த்தமா சார்?
இல்ல, இந்தியாட்ட ஆமா யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம்னு கிடையாது. நம்மகிட்ட ரெஸ்பான்சிபிளா பத்திரமா இருக்கும். நம்ம எங்க நான் துப்பாக்கி வச்சிருப்பேன், டீச்சர் துப்பாக்கி வச்சிருப்பாரு, ஆனா யாரையும் ஸ்டூடெண்ட சுட மாட்டாருன்னு ஒரு நம்பிக்கை தான். அப்படிதான், புரியுதுங்களா? அந்த 5 கண்ட்ரீஸ்ல நியூக்ளியர் பவர் இருக்கு, ஆனா யார்கிட்டையும் யூஸ் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. புதுசா எல்லாரும் எல்லாரும் நியூக்ளியர் வச்சிருந்தா அப்புறம் ஒருத்தர் சண்டை போட ஆரம்பிச்சிருவாங்க. அதனால பாம்ஸ் வேண்டாம். ஸோ ஒரு கிளாஸ் ரூம்ல கன் எடுத்துட்டு வர்றதுக்கான வேணுமா வேண்டாமான்னு வேர்ல்டு கண்ட்ரிஸ் எல்லாம் முடிவு பண்றாங்க. 5 பெரிய பெரிய ஸ்ட்ராங்கான ஆளுங்க மட்டும் வச்சுங்க, மிச்சம் யாரும் வைக்காதீங்கன்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஏன்னா 5 பேர் ஏற்கனவே உள்ள கன்னோட உள்ள இருக்காங்க. சரி உங்களை தவிர யாரும் பண்ணாதீங்க, இந்த 5 பேர் நீங்க தானே பவர்ஃபுல் பேஸ், நீங்க அதை என்ஷூர் பண்ணுங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க.
புரியுது சார். எது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டாப் 5 பேர் யார் வந்து நியூக்ளியர் கண்டுபிடிச்சாங்களோ அந்த 5 பேருக்கு மட்டும் தான் பவர். அப்படி
ஆமா, அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் இந்த டீலே பேச ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. அவங்க டெஸ்ட் பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி இந்த டீல் வரல. டீல் வர்ற அன்னைக்கு 5 பேர்கிட்ட ஏற்கனவே நியூக்ளியர் வெப்பன் இருந்தது.
புரியுது சார்.
சரி 5 பேர் இருந்தாலும் இந்தியா சொல்லிச்சு, அப்புறம் என்ன 5 பேர் மட்டும் விடுறா, எவன் எல்லாத்தையுமே எல்லாரும் இது வச்சுக்க கூடாதுன்னு இந்தியா சொல்லுது. யாருக்குமே இருக்க கூடாது, யாருக்கிட்ட இல்லைன்னா நானும் வச்சுக்க மாட்டேன், அவன் வச்சிருந்தா நானும் வச்சுக்குவேன்னு சொல்லுது இங்க. அதனாலதான் நம்ம பண்ணல.
புரியுது சார். ஓகே சார். தேங்க்யூ.
Yes, Prabhavati.
Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, audible. Yes.
Sir, you said that in 1998, when economic sanctions are imposed on India, it said having the power of sovereignty. Why Iran didn't say like that, sir?
Iran also said like that only, but Iran said that it is my sovereign right to do everything. But the country said that it is not your sovereign right. You have accepted an international treaty. Okay, you have accepted and signed the NPT. Then you are secretly doing nuclear weapons. That is not acceptable.
So at that time, Iran is doing secret.
Yes, by the time, see, this NPT came into force in 1970. In 1970, this Ayatollah Khomeini was there ruling the country. Okay, so see this slide. Ayatollah Khomeini was there. This Ayatollah Khomeini, what he did? He said that nuclear program, the nuclear weapon program will be disbanded. No nuclear weapon, nuclear related issues. Technology will be there in Iran. Like that, Ayatollah said. By the time Iran said that, so since already banned in country, they signed it. But after his death in 1989, Iran again restarted the nuclear. This is the problem.
Okay. Sir, one more question, sir. Sir, you said that Turkey have a majority of Sunni people.
Yes, Sunni Muslims, yes.
So at that time of Ottoman Empire, whether Sunni has a majority in that?
Ottoman Empire is a Sunni Muslim empire only.
Okay, sir.
But they doesn't care about Sunni Muslims, the Shia Muslims like that. Why? Means because they are very busy with fighting with European powers.
Okay.
So Ottoman said that I am the leader of all the Islamic community, which includes Sunni Shia. Everybody accepted him. That Ottoman as the leader.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. And then Vignesh.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Vignesh.
Sir, actually, when US imposed sanctions on North Korea, why didn't China and Russia veto against it?
It was, but they are going for nuclear weapon, no? If you are testing nuclear weapon, means world countries will put sanction. UN resolution is binding on both UN members and UN non-UN members. Can you understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Why US and Iran now going against each other, we will discuss in next class. So I'm explaining everything in English only. Some people are asking me, so I have to work on it. So class will end.